gonna question it.
Yeah.
Let's just go with it.
Was I don't think I turned. I don't think I turned. Could you guys hear us? You could hear us that whole time, huh? I don't know what I said. Probably nothing incriminating.
Oh.
The internet's not a place where if you say something incriminating, they'll hold it against you. Hi, guys.
Oh no! I told him about where my gold is.
Yeah, my gold. Speaking of gold, welcome to Filmography.
Hey everybody.
Hi.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. It's so hey guys. Hi. So
What's up?
Right before we went live, I was like, I'm gonna hop on early, and because I didn't get to stream. Boy, we're a lovely tint today. Everything's.
We got a lot of sun.
Yeah, this is good. This is real good.
Everything's fine, guys.
Yeah. I was like,
We're not freaking out, so you shouldn't either. It's fine.
I was like, I'm gonna hop on early and play some games, and instead of that, I opted to spill a full glass of water onto this section of the light and electronic portion of the room. Me llamo Jeff.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, honey.
And and then I had to spend some time cleaning that up, and then it's just been a crazy week. It's been a crazy week. Has your week been crazy?
Mine's been crazy, but I've been locked in a hole.
Right.
Editing something, and I just haven't seen a lot of. I haven't had a lot of human interaction.
Oh, hi.
So it's
then.
nice to see ya.
Hello. Yeah. Filmography, what is this? I'm here for tentacles. Just watched Doctor Strangelove and plan to watch 2001 tonight.
Oh,
Well,
nice.
Well, hey, there's still time. I don't know.
Well, you're not gonna like what I have to say because I hated it. No. This is one of my favorite movies.
It's really freaking amazing. Let me also. Dare I? Should I just?
Oh!
Hey, look, that's better. We're less
I
red.
like that a lot.
Yeah.
Very smooth, very simple.
The good thing about 2001 is none of this discussion will spoil it. Because everyone's seen it, or because it is inscrutable?
Yeah. But what's interesting is that I've seen this.
Babe, thank you for the host.
I've seen this movie so many times now, because like it was one of the first movies when I got into movies when I was like 12. That it was like Lawrence of Arabia and 2001 were like the ones. Those were the classic like pieces of cinema that you should watch if you're if you like filmmaking. So I watched it way too young, and for years I was like, it really was an inscrutable, like dense. I couldn't make heads or tails of it type movie.
Tried to screw it, but you couldn't. Can't screw that.
You can't screw it. And then you get older, and then I had an experience where I would just kind of watched it a couple of years had gone by, and I watched it, and I was like, oh, it's refreshingly simple.
Yeah, it really is.
Really.
Hey, look
And
what
this is very appropriate.
I was actually just gonna switch it at some point anyway. You've screwed it to an extent. Yeah. Thank you for look at all this.
I'm gonna do the freeze frames that when he's going through the portal.
Thank you, dude.
Oh yeah.
Tactical Panic. Thank you for those 22 months of unbelievable support. Thank you so much.
Hopefully a lot of people do that tonight because that's gonna be on theme. Boom.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we can just kind of go back and forth between this and this, depending on.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're a professional.
Why am I doing this? Go back to the other one.
Blam.
Yeah, that's a lot though. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we got this music playing for some reason. Well, hi guys. So first of all, before we kick anything else off the table and spill stuff, welcome. I hope your week has been good, and your weekend has been good. It is a Sunday. I've been told by people who keep track of such things. Yeah, it's been good. This is the second film in our AI series. Mm-hmm. The first portion of which is focusing on computers the AI, the intelligent computers, right? And human interactions with them. Our first film was called Alphaville.
The legendary Alphaville.
It was by Jean-Luc Godard, which is how I'll be saying everyone's name from now on. And it was a dystopian, futuristic.
It was a piece of shit.
French New Wave film noir. Yeah. No, and it was something. It was
not good.
It was
not good, and I didn't like it, and I'm a little angry that I saw it.
Yeah, fair.
And it was nice to watch this to cleanse my palate.
Well,
I'm not going to mince words.
I don't think you should.
About that movie.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah,
I didn't like it.
I get you. I'm sure. Rock and roll.
It did. It stunk up the joint.
It
smelled like hot Godard.
The first of many quotes that will. What's up? What's
put
up?
It on
Mr.
a t-shirt.
Gene? Yeah, there you go. It's more ducky poo.
Oh man, yeah.
Scription.
Yeah.
Steaming
Oh,
Godard.
it didn't even switch over because we're already in the vortex.
Yeah, because we're here. Sub. What's up, ducky poo? Thank you, my friend, for those 3 months of unbelievable support. Truly means a tremendous, tremendous amount. It is what allows this to keep going. So thank you. I appreciate it so much. Thank you, dude. All right, so that movie was about a computer that I'm trying desperately to string these movies together.
Okay, so
there's a computer that ran an underground
city.
It ran a
called
city,
Alphaville.
and it made all the decisions for the city. And there was a detective slash spy who was charged with kind of infiltrating the city and finding the creator of the computer, and then he ultimately destroys the computer with poetry, and this poetry spewing computer.
Yeah,
couldn't take more poetry.
Yeah.
And it was like right at the...
Poetry was outlawed, but boy, did he love the sound of his own robotic, smoke-filled voice.
Yes, and also Jorge Luis Borges. Thank you so much, Ducky, for those 3 months, my friend. Lots and lots and lots of love. And so, that was an unfriendly machine that was felled by poetry. And we come now...
And that was made in 1966.
That was made in 1966.
And
2 years later.
And then 2 years later.
How many more things can happen?
Uh-oh.
Getting a phone call. It's fine. We're just going to ignore it, but it's just going to ring for some reason. I'll just see what's going on. Oh. Okay.
Did that say AI?
Yes. Yes, it did. We'll just wait for it to... We'll just wait.
It's very appropriate that technology is interfering with our podcast, and that we had a little technical difficulty. It's actually all on theme, and it's all purposeful. Guys.
Bam! That's the AI from Alphaville calling to tell you to suck it. In iambic pentameter, though. That makes me think of those people who feed thousands of hours of television into a computer and it writes the script as someone somewhat competent but also insane. That's those are like memes that are going around now, right? Like, at some point...
Some of those aren't real, though, right? Because I've read
I don't think any of them are real.
That I'm like, okay.
Well, maybe at one point. That's what I'm wondering. Was one of them at one point real? And then now people are just because
I read one and I was like, it was really funny.
Yeah,
and I was like, but it was too funny.
Why won't I answer you? I will. When the time is right, when the drawing of the three is nigh. Death by Poetry. Well, that didn't come out in the '80s. True. What am I answering? It's Monday here. Wait, it's Monday. It's Monday for you guys? One was real, but I think others just made fake ones for memes. Yeah. I think so. A Seinfeld one is weird. But real. Oh, real? The Seinfeld one is weird? I mean, it's real? Boy, that's crazy. Well, all right. So in 1968, we had 2001: A Space Odyssey. So to start things off, how many of you guys have seen it or saw it recently? Well, I guess saw it at all. And how recently have you seen it? If you've seen it, give me a 1 if you've seen it. Give me a 2 if you haven't. Please. A few months ago in IMAX. That's
nice.
The way. That is the way. And like,
yeah,
nice.
I caught it as part of that 70mm because Christopher Nolan did a new print from the original 70mm negative, and they did like a little road show thing with the Draft House, and they put it in IMAX. I didn't even get to see it in IMAX, so that's really cool that you got to see that.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I've seen it a couple times on the big screen, and it is marvelous.
It's something, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen the Cinerama version that they released when it first came out in '68, because it was like, I guess Cinerama was 3 screens that kind of bended and like a little bit, so it was almost like a semicircle all the way around you, and it filled up the entire thing. That would have been cool.
That's insane. I said before, it's insane how well the FX. Yeah, no.
It's remarkable.
I feel like just about everything in this movie holds up. And
truly does.
Is still stunning and would still blow minds if it was released today.
That opening shot where it's a planet and then the moon and then the sun and you're just like, that is it's stunning. The whole movie, every single shot is just so gorgeous to look at and so precise.
Yeah.
And it really is like the epitome of like, I feel like everything that people define Kubrick as, it's all on full display with this movie.
Yeah. I mean, it really is like, goodness gracious. I mean, we're kind of getting ahead. But I mean, it's almost, I mean, it's almost the definition of a cinematic masterpiece. It is.
It is. And it's timeless. Like, it's still, the fact that it becomes more relevant with each passing year in different ways, and like how it was relevant 10 years ago, but now it's relevant. Like, it just, it keeps, with what's happening in the world, it just keeps becoming, you find new layers that you're like, oh, that they've already talked about this in 2001.
I mean, the fact that, you know, that it was so technologically and socially prescient, but also just artistically, it just changed.
And in terms of like the
everything.
alien, the way they approach the alien life forms and stuff, like
everything.
that.
That's another reason that they're so
just, I mean, the idea to not show aliens and make them more like a pure energy thing, but not even really showing that, and it's just represented by a monolith, like this clean cut thing that had to have been made by something or someone at some point. Yeah. It's just, everything about it holds up, and nothing is dated in its ideas or its technical achievements.
And part of it is because I think part of it is because of how they chose to do it. How little dialogue there is in it, honestly. How at the same time incredibly leaning into the cinematic process, but also kind of scaled back in terms of how, like, they're not showing the aliens, they're not telling you.
It's
subtle in some ways, but then in other ways it's just stunning and
the antithesis
incredibly
to
bold.
Star Wars. It's not a serial. It's not a soap opera of any way. It's high mind. It's science fiction.
But I think so. Like, I think that it's great because the choice not to show the aliens, or not even barely mentioning the aliens, mentioning that it's aliens at all.
Yeah.
On the one hand, like, keeps it from being dated because
absolutely.
Because no matter what they came up with, and I don't want to say that because the monkeys are just great. They look amazing.
Oh, I know.
The monkeys are incredible, and they're just dudes in suits. Spoiler.
Which plays well into when you're realizing what era these monkeys are supposed to be. Like,
and what it is.
They're literally, their sequence ends with them learning how to use tools and essentially walk upright.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
I have seen Barry Lyndon.
Yeah.
I love Barry Lyndon. I don't think there's a week, like, I really do. There's a reason Kubrick's up there, because, like, I hold him in very high regard.
Dude,
I really do.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the bits. Thank you for the bits that you gave to me. Sorry, we kind of on these days we kind of cut down on notifications a little bit. And don't do the full deal because we try to keep.
Because he doesn't care.
Keep chugging along. Because I don't care. I just don't. It's over. I'm done. No, thank you so much for those bits, my friend. Watch it. So, Twitch won't give me to the end. I'm holding a few pennies that I drop in your hand. I appreciate it. Thank you. My hat appreciates it. It's also realistic. Exactly. Something I noticed watching it again is the film is filled with lots and lots of meetings, which pretty much is whatever. Yeah. And I was watching this great. There's some great documentaries on that thing. Really great.
On the Blu-ray.
Yeah, and they mentioned how. Gosh, I guess we're just going to jump in and talk about it as we talk about it. Forces you to think about.
We can set it up real quick.
Absolutely.
I mean, the movie is about essentially humanity in different points of humanity, and how this monolithic.
Yeah.
It's called the monolith,
right.
And it's just this black slab of like granite, or whatever it is, and it just appears at different moments in time. And when monkeys or human beings touch it, there's a massive jump in the evolutionary scale. So what it's proposing is that aliens are responsible for the leap forwards in humanity on an evolutionary scale.
Yeah, and so because I was interested to see what the IMDb summary of it is, and it says, after discovering a mysterious artifact buried beneath the lunar surface, mankind sets off on a quest to find its origins with help from intelligent supercomputer HAL 9000. Which that does happen in the film. It is the scope of it is so much larger.
Yeah,
I feel like it should just be like 2001 Space, and the summary is just like, oh dude, man, fuck, dude, are you sitting down, bruh? Yeah, seeing everything, watching you guys. Oh, thank you, Ducky. Lots and lots of love. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. At the end, you know what I'll do is at the end of the thing, I'll do one big, real good sing is what I'll do.
Like he's gonna plug in.
Yeah. No.
I'll get on the drums.
I'm not plugging in anything again because everything just goes to crap. But yeah, you'll get on the drums. But so just basically going in sequence because it is in kind of segments, right? And the first segment of it is the
dawn of man.
You're right, the dawn of man. I mean, it starts with this kind of prologue over black of this like great crazy sort of just aural soundscape, and then shows
which they cut out for the theatrical release when they first released it. That the Blu-ray has like the prologue and the intermission, and that was part of the road show because they released it on 70mm, and that's had the intermission and the prologue, and then the theatrical release they cut all that out to make it shorter. Because it does go for like 3 minutes, which is fine. But I love it. Yeah.
It's great, and it
builds. It just gets you into the moment, like into the vibe of it before it even starts. It's great.
Yeah, and I mean that obviously was much more common back then, but I don't know. I don't really have a sense of exactly how common it was. Like I don't know because like Lawrence of Arabia has that.
Yeah, it's just nice because like. A lot of times theaters they'll start playing it, but they'll still keep the house lights up. So you can still kind of converse during it. I mean, you're not supposed to, but it's more to like get everybody settled and just kind of set the atmosphere before the movie starts.
But then for me though, it's like it kind of it feeds thematically into because it's almost like kind of like the before creation.
Yeah.
Sort of
absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's just really very cool. I'm just going to bring up. So we get that, and then we've got and it goes into the dawn of man, which is like this, like just the opening is just like these not still, but like they're just like these landscape shots of this beautiful.
Oh, the most stunning landscape shots you've ever seen in
your
life.
Like, what? Where did he go? It just, I mean, talk about, gosh darn it, like it.
I don't know where. Like I wasn't able to find anything.
Tunisia. I don't know.
It looked. Yeah. That's so funny because that's what I thought.
Well, is it because of The Exorcist? Is that where they did The Exorcist?
No, they did
is
that in
why
Iraq.
I thought Tunisia? Okay. Why did I think Tunisia? Why did I specifically think Tunisia?
Star Wars Tunisia?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Watched Moon a while ago, so we were gonna do Moon as part of this. It is very, very, very like. I mean, the thing is like,
and it's like a direct like like they're.
Absolutely.
They're not hiding that.
Yeah. And it goes in a different direction, and it's about different stuff. We almost plugged Moon in here. We traded it out for Demon Seed, and I think you'll be happy.
I think you'll be very happy with that choice.
I've not seen it. It's insane.
I haven't seen it either.
But it's going to be great. It's going to be crazy. Moon we will do later, because I felt like while there is an AI, and very specifically a HAL-esque AI, at least in some respects, that is very... very specifically a reference. I mean, it's kind of an obvious reference to 2001. We thought it'd be interesting to kind of play those off of each other, but ultimately, that movie is less about the AI interaction to me, and more about some other things. Right. So we're going to put it thematically with some other stuff. One of the great things about the Moon is it's a version of the HAL character. Exactly. Without you know. So it would have been. It would be interesting. It was. Yeah, no, I think. Demon Seed, at least from what I know of it, plays on the sort of fear of AI in a different way from the rest of the films that we've seen. Her is not quite. Her's kind of the outlier in this one, where it's like, well, I don't know.
No,
well,
it's firmly in there.
It is definitely,
but it's a romance.
Yeah, exactly, and it's very interesting. It's very, very interesting.
One's like the benchmark, though, for like the unfriendly, AI that goes sour.
Yeah,
it really did set the benchmark. There've been a lot of people who have taken this idea and tried to do iterations of it, but it's just so shocking that it was made 50 years ago, and it is so like nothing has topped it.
No,
and
like, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm trying to think of anything that's approached it, you know, in terms of sheer impact.
It's such a thing, and I gotta say this. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pyrene Ibex, for that freaking fresh Twitch Prime sub. Thank you so much. Thank you for supporting and for making this possible. Lots and lots of love. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Lobrocore. Hit the showers. Here's your badge. Your locker's in there. Good luck.
Make sure to hit those showers.
Hit the showers. Yeah. Welcome to Detroit. I don't know. I'm just going off the RoboCop. Thank you so much for the sub, Pyrene Ibex. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for that support. Lots and lots of love. Yeah, like in terms of like, I mean, we say Moon is no mind. Almost every science fiction film to come out after 2001 owes a significant debt.
I mean,
to 2001. I mean, it like I feel like it in the like I was watching these documentaries and talking about how incredibly, because this highlights in just about every way how incredibly influential Kubrick is. I think Kubrick. People have favorite directors. I have favorite directors. There are other. Kubrick to me is like objectively the most important director of all time, kind of. He is to me. It's like he's like there are directors, and then there are just like, oh man, that guy's a genius, and then there's like Kubrick.
Yeah.
Like he's like up here. I mean,
his ability to explore human behavior in such a profoundly practical, yet with such a deep well of humanity. Like people accuse his movies of being cold, and I'm like. And I honestly, I used to think that, and this is, and 2001 is like the one where it's like, well, yeah, because it puts all his stuff at the forefront. He's like, yeah, he's cold and clinical, and I'm like, actually, he's fascinated with human behavior,
absolutely,
and has more, I think, curiosity.
You can't watch Full Metal Jacket and say he's cold. I mean, I just, you know what I mean, like.
But I mean, that's like the main thing that people, I would say, accuse him of, because, and I just disagree with it completely, because like he's so fascinated with characters.
Yeah, definitely is.
And what's interesting about 2001 is how he subverts it almost, because I feel for Hal.
Sure.
By the end, when he's singing Daisy and he's getting turned off, because he's showing more humanity in his fallibility, because he thinks he's invincible and then he makes a mistake, and then you see him have he has that crisis. And so he starts to do malicious things because he's fractured, his brain fractured.
He's acting out.
Yeah. And like everybody else in the movie, particularly the two astronauts who are great.
Yes.
But they are I feel like Kubrick intentionally had them play it very robotic.
Yeah.
To show that dichotomy and that juxtaposition.
And I love. So it's interesting because they are very kind of. But I love Keir Delay, and I love every performance in this film. And there are comparatively few, you could say, right?
Yeah.
Just in general. I mean, like I mean,
who's the guy who plays the guy on the moon?
Yeah, I can't remember that dude's name.
He is fantastic.
Yeah, he's great, and he is great, and
I mean, he really
is.
is.
Yeah,
like,
truly,
it's really a great performance.
He and Gary Lockwood is the other astronaut who's gets cut loose, so to speak. But yeah, that dude's name is William Sylvester. Yeah.
William Sylvester. What else has he been in?
I don't know.
He is so natural.
Yeah.
and just so
It's so like great, like so wonderfully 60s to me.
yeah.
Also at the
Oh
same
well, his
time.
outfits are just fantastic.
Yeah.
Like I love the fashion in the entire picture, and just the set designs, and it's also iconic.
It so is.
Like every single piece of production design, like the room at the end of the film where it's just the floors light up, or the entire room, and
yeah.
I mean it is
it's
there's so
beautiful.
many iconic images that are just seared in your brain, and they all come from one film. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it visually, it is everything about it is revolutionary. The way it's told.
I can't believe
It's told.
Can you imagine seeing this in 1968 for the first time?
And then
I can't even your brain would I just can't fathom it.
Yeah, I think, and it's crazy too because the things that drew from it as inspiration. I mean, it's like the next hugely inspirational visually sci-fi film was like Star Wars, which is like 10 years later, and does a lot of crazy stuff, but also clearly owes so much to 2001, but also goes off in its own direction, does a different thing.
But Lucas readily admits that.
Oh, 100%. And the thing is, like, that's it. I think it's a thing where, like, you imagine seeing it in 1968, then going, "Gwah!" and then just kind of looking around at the rest of the stuff that people are putting out and kind of going like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then like having all these movies just kind of be like, yeah, that's cool, and that's a good movie, and that's a good movie. And then 2001 is just this thing that happened
and
that no one can even aspire to.
And it doesn't even feel like a movie. It feels like a thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It really does feel like, I'm like, oh, you just win, and it just feels like one of those movies that you're like, oh, it was just there.
Yeah.
And like that's probably the best compliment you could ever give any piece of art, is just like, oh,
Yeah.
I can't imagine anyone actually making that.
Right.
It's just there.
I mean, and the fact, just gosh, like the guy, they're talking to the editor and talking about just like splicing this together on film. Just every bit of it is so incredibly meticulous. That's it. Is like, I think, and there's a documentary on the Blu-ray where it's like it's like it's Spielberg and Lucas and Sidney Pollack and like like Trumbull and just people like very 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 you know in their own right. I mean, I don't even have to say it. It's Spielberg and Lucas and people like that, but they're like speaking in such awe of Kubrick.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, man, like, yeah, that's just a thing. It's like again, they're filmmakers, geniuses, and then like, but Kubrick is like Beethoven or something.
Yeah,
and it's like,
absolutely.
It's like
absolutely.
You're like, cool, yeah. But
that's what it is. He's a Beethoven.
Yeah, and it's like, and you go like, okay, but you like, they're all-time great directors, and everyone else, there are like Spielberg. These guys are obviously all-time great directors, obviously incredible craftsmen, incredible artists. But then, if you go like, but like if you look at the people who like, and Spielberg and Lucas changed film as we've talked about, but Kubrick like changed filmmaking and changed it's like Kubrick, like Orson Welles, and then like The Great Train Robbery or something.
Right,
it's like
absolutely.
It's like these are like, these are just like, there was a guy who was saying that like, I can't, and again, it was like someone like Friedkin was on there talking. Someone, I don't know if it was Friedkin, but somebody was like, yeah, the jump ahead in 1968 from where they were to where 2001 was just exponential, and he's like, I've never seen it again in my lifetime.
And that's why it's like, I'm glad we watched Alphaville, because Alphaville was made in 66, and I get it's a completely different thing. It's French New Wave and it's guerrilla filmmaking, whatever, but this was made in 68, and it feels like the gap between those two movies is like 60 years because of how immaculately made that 2001 is.
Yeah, and 2000, and like as I think you're alluding to, had probably 20 times the budget, but
sure, absolutely,
and they're going for different things, but still, same,
but it's just
same.
like, that's why I wish like it would be so cool to go back and have the mindset of being in 1968, and then just having this thing unleashed on you on a Cinerama screen for the first time, and even if you couldn't make heads or tails of the narrative, which a lot of people, like, I think the first public screening, like 250 people like walked out because they didn't know. But like, I don't know why people would do that, because at least on a visual level,
Yeah.
you're seeing something you've never
You
seen
go like,
before.
what is going to happen?
I mean, we hadn't even walked on the moon
I
yet,
know.
and like space travel.
That's what's incredible.
the space, like being in.
predates.
There was
landing on the
very
moon.
little to go on in terms of like media that had been sent back.
Yeah.
So like they were really guessing a lot in terms of like what space was going to be like.
Yeah, and they were talking to NASA, obviously working
Yeah,
very closely.
yeah,
Arthur
yeah.
C. Clarke and everything.
Right.
But you're right. Yeah, it's even with all that, it's like that's
They didn't.
crazy.
They hadn't like nobody had really been up there. You know.
Yeah. Ebert has a funny review where he says he saw it at the first screening. Rock Hudson got up and
Yeah.
walked out and asked if anyone could tell him what the hell was going on. That's so funny. That sounds like a Simpsons gag or something.
Yeah.
Like Rock Hudson getting
Rock
up and going
Hudson,
like,
yeah.
I don't know what's
It's like, what's Doris think about this?
2001 is a movie to write it past. My favorite part of 2001 is the one-off scene of a guy sitting in the bathroom with a very long instruction panel on the wall for the 0G20.
And that's what's great.
It's great.
Is the movie is
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
It's not ha-ha funny, but it has humor about it, and it's conscious of it.
And the lock. That's exactly what I was going to say, and it that struck me while I was watching the documentary and hearing people talk about it, and I thought I was a genius. But now you just thought of it too. I really like literally that phrase occurred to me. I was like, oh, 2001 and Kubrick in a way are the monolith. Like
Yeah.
they touch like other filmmakers saw it. I mean, like because
Touch it and then
and go.
It's so true.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dang it, Mblack. Right there. But you said it. You technically said it earlier. I was gearing up to
No,
it.
you get credit for it.
Son of a...
He's just trying to ride your coattails.
No, I had it. Anyway, I was so proud
Having
of
a
myself.
real Amadeus moment
So
over
proud.
here.
I know. Yeah. I was so proud of myself for that. No. I agree. Like 100. There, that's my face. Yeah. No. Like that's just it. I mean, it because hearing these guys talk about how like they saw 2001 and then they're all like, oh, that's what got me into movies. That's why I wanted to make do special effects. That's why. It's like
And it goes.
people.
Why I like revisiting him is if I'm ever having doubt of myself as a filmmaker, I'll just watch one of his movies and I'm like, one of the main things to do as a filmmaker when you're trying to get something made is to have the utmost confidence in what you're doing. Because you watch any of his movies, and I can understand why someone wouldn't like Clockwork Orange,
Sure,
or even The Shining, or like he
even
makes
2001.
controversial films or whatever,
Sure.
that aren't very quote unquote commercial, and yet you watch these movies and he does them with such confidence that you're just like, well, even if it's not for me, I can respect the hell out of that because he clearly made the movie like to an exact T what he had in his brain.
Yeah, because they were talking to Keir Dullea, and he was like, oh yeah, like Kubrick didn't let anyone from MGM on the lot, like no one was there.
Yeah,
and what's fascinating to me about him because he occupies this space, and part of it, so much of it is that he is Kubrick. But so much of his influence is the fact that he was making films the way he wanted to. He's truly making art, just making, like pushing the medium, wanted to transform it, putting films out there that were challenging, that were intellectual, that were artistically, impeccable. But they were making money. They were making tons of money and money and enough money to like thoroughly justify his being able to keep doing that.
And he was also conscientious of like.
It's kind of like the Coens. The only other like that's a weird comparison in a lot of ways.
It's true.
But that is sort of in terms of the space that they occupy in the industry. They get to come out and do every 2-3 years and do whatever they want. The studios will throw money behind it.
Yeah.
Because they know that people are going to go see it. And I was kind of that didn't occur to me till just now. I was like, I wish there was more of that. I wish if we had more directors.
That'd be the dream,
yeah, if we had more directors in that sort of that position where they could do whatever they wanted without fear or acceptance of interference, right?
Yeah.
And then just put out whatever it is, and then everyone goes out to see it. I mean, and it really kind of is.
It's the goal, but like even Spielberg is. I mean, even Kubrick was smart about. He knew, particularly after 2001, that he was like, if I want to be able to do what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to. Like his crews were remarkable. After 2001, his actual crews on his sets were remarkably small.
Yeah.
Like when Pollock went onto the set of. Sidney Pollack, who's an actor in Eyes Wide Shut, but he's a famous director in his own right. When he went on set, he was shocked at how few people were there.
Yeah.
And Kubrick even like made a funny, not a snarky remark, but just like a very sarcastic remark. It's like, how many people do you need to make a movie?
Yeah, actually, he's like,
he's like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, shit. But he was conscious of that, and like to the point that during like lunch breaks he would count how many plates were out, and because sometimes they would add more plates, and he'd be like, no, there's only this amount of people who should be eating. And he'd be like, so if there's only 20 plates here, because he was conscious that keeping his budget to a certain level was going to give him the freedom and the days that he required to make the art that he wanted to make.
Yeah,
and they understood that probably better than anyone. Because I think he went almost double over budget with
and they ran out of money.
And they ran out of money.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I think he learned a lesson there.
Yeah, it is very surreal to me. It feels real and possible. It's still very surreal, and I think that's part of that's part of the power of it. It does feel very. It's dreamlike, but also very grounded in reality. It's crazy to say that, but it truly is.
Just that haunting music between the classical pieces. Like,
and we talk. We were talking on the phone earlier, but it's just the Blue Danube, just the choice of that to play over this. I
would love to hear the original score. There was a composer, Alex North, who composed a traditional score to the entire finished picture, and when Kubrick heard it, he decided that he preferred the temp tracks, which were the classical pieces that he had been editing to initially. He just preferred those and felt like the traditional score that Alex North made, he was like, it's too pointed to the action on screen. And something about having classical music just play on top of it almost removed itself from the picture.
Absolutely.
And it just kind of let it do its own
thing.
And
I think it's things like that make it so timeless.
Yes,
like
I agree.
You just
completely.
We got Strauss in there. That's not going to age. You got, it's not going to be, like kids might be like, oh, that's classical music, that's all, but it's also timeless. It doesn't become dated. To an extent, I mentioned a while ago how there was you're talking about Cohen's wasn't on film. Yeah. And you're talking about in regard to being compared to Kubrick. Yeah. And I didn't mean in any sort of, because the Cohens and Kubrick are very, very at least content-wise and thematically, they're very, very different filmmakers.
Like, in terms of their independence, but still being able to have a commercial release, it's almost identical.
They're the only kind of
I would say
analog that I can think of,
because they're different enough.
Made them. Ooh, it's interesting.
Like, I feel like I couldn't even put Christopher Nolan in that camp because he's too much of just a. I think he enjoy. And again, there's nothing wrong with being a Christopher Nolan, obviously, but he's more of a commercial filmmaker. He's more of a Spielberg.
He is more of a Spielberg. I think that 2001 domestic box office adjusted for inflation, $350 million, not bad. Not about Tarantino. Yeah, he gets to kind of come along and do. Yeah, I guess he gets to do whatever he wants. Sure. Yeah.
The thing about him though is I like Tarantino.
That's interesting, Ducky.
But he what I like about Kubrick and the Coen brothers is like that is a very original content, and that's not to say that Tarantino isn't making original content, but he just pulls from so many different places. I
think it is. I think it's very interesting in the sense he's unique. In that he. Because a lot of he is original. He has a ton of original content that he
absolutely,
but he also does sort of kind of curate things that exist elsewhere.
Well, it's like when you watch Django Unchained, it's like okay, you're going in with the pop culture knowledge that westerns as a genre are a thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Or Inglourious Basterds, that World War II movies with Nazis in them are a thing. And then he subverts those expectations. Sure. So he's still working within like a cinematic world and paying homage and referencing it.
And he does. I think there. Sometimes he gets knocked for like lifting things and putting them in his own film.
Yeah, and like when I saw Lady Snowblood 2 months ago, it was my first time where I had seen a movie that he had referenced in like, and I didn't realize that referencing mean like he pulls entire scenes, characters, costumes, sets directly.
Yeah.
Lines of dialogue, compositions. Like, I was pretty shocked and almost kind of bummed of how blatant it was.
But it's interesting too, because
it doesn't mean he's not bad. He's a fantastic filmmaker.
Yeah, and stuff like, I mean, like Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs are not like, I don't think they're cribbed in it. Not that I don't know, but I don't know.
I think his knowledge is so extensive that I think there's stuff in there, but that's not to take away from what he's doing.
It doesn't, because honestly, it's sort of odd to say, but that is part of his thing.
Yeah,
like he's
also nothing is original. Yeah, I should probably reiterate that.
Absolutely true. But you think about stuff like, I don't know, like, you know, like the I don't know, the Grey Album or something, you know, like Danger Mouse, something like that. He is sort of a sampler in some ways.
Yeah.
But he mixes it together with original stuff and does it in an original way. He also brings things to people. Because, like, there are films
you wouldn't otherwise,
you wouldn't otherwise encounter, and that's not to excuse plagiarism, and he's not, and I would not call what he's doing plagiarism.
Nor would I.
But I understand people going, wait a second, that is a concept that is entirely lifted. But I mean, people levy the same claim against Star Wars and against.
Star Wars is Hidden Fortress. Kurosawa's Hidden Fortress. I think just the comparison with Kubrick, though, is an interesting one, because Kubrick, like you said, is a monolith type filmmaker where it's like, oh, you're making something that is literally just going to propel us forward as like a filmmakers forward. And just introduction, a new era of filmmaking.
And for a lot of us, watching it is going to look the same as the dude going through, as Keir Dullea going through the time rift. Going,
right.
Like, I don't know what's happening, but it's blowing my mind. Yeah, not the same when you recently saw The Great Silence of Klaus. Wow, Klaus Kinski did a Western? Wow. So much is ripped for Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, hey.
Yeah.
That's part of his thing. It's interesting. It's interesting to have that as your thing, but it's part of his thing.
And it's why you can have that argument, and you can have it and not feel like, I'm not bashing him, but to say that he doesn't do that would be to miss the point of who he is as a filmmaker.
Right. Sort of hot topic, I watched Spielberg's recent film Ready Player One, which actually features a Shining reference. If you know anything about that film, it features literally hundreds upon hundreds, absolutely, in the film, TV, video games he was able to acquire because of how big he is. Yeah, when they announced that it was him, I was like, well, that kind of makes sense, because like no one else owns enough rights to anything. I mean, like, he's the only one who could kind of. I mean, obviously, that's more the studio.
I was shocked that movie got made, though.
Master Cooch, thank you for the follow. Yeah. I still have not seen it. I don't think the film on the scale it was would have even been possible if it wasn't for him. Fair point. I mean, like, I think in some ways it wouldn't be possible, because he shepherded so many of the things that I think that they're making references to, or at least that.
And didn't he decide to not reference a lot of the stuff?
I know.
Isn't he like a big part of the book?
I read a fair chunk of the book, and I think honestly, I'm not a big fan of the book, unfortunately, but like it also skews a little older than me, where I'm kind of like, oh, like, okay, like its references are to like war games and like, which still is within my purview, but like the video games that are references, just things that are just like a little older. I don't know if it eventually gets around to Spielberg. It didn't make a lot of Spielberg references that I found, but I didn't finish it.
Yeah.
But when I heard that he was like, I'm not gonna he's like, I'm not gonna use it to trot out all my stuff. I go, no, that's why you do it.
Yeah.
You need to do it.
Yeah.
Because
it would have been awesome.
Do it and not do that.
It would have been really, really, really cool to see.
Does he still drive around in a DeLorean?
Yes.
Okay, that's at least one thing.
And I mean, there are a couple of Spielberg references in there.
I get like being. I get kind of being like stepping back and being like, look, I'm not gonna. Because I understand.
It's a good film. It's pure fluff.
Is it good? Is it a good film? I haven't seen it.
It's an enjoyable way to spend an hour and a half.
Interesting. That's interesting.
I wouldn't watch it again.
Yeah, I understand Spielberg going like, look, I'm not gonna like, because to put it to wall it with Spielberg references as Spielberg could come off to some people, but literally no one would think this, as going like, well, I am the 80s. And I'm like, yeah, you are the 80s though, man. Yeah. You're the 80s and part of the 90s.
And also, it was a big part of the book. Like,
you gave us our childhood.
Yeah.
Don't modest out of this.
Yeah. You already did Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, buddy. All right.
Now playing sorry. Ready Player One was okay. Kind of borders on not great. I would understand. I'd be surprised if I liked it, but it's one of those songs you can enjoy. You can only enjoy if you pause it every 5 to 10 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on in that movie.
Are there many films like that? Yeah.
It's cool.
It's basically all dialogue. Well, that's Tarantino, right? I like to say, but scenes he lists directly should be in the credits, like samples or acknowledged in film credits. I don't know that they're not, but that's interesting. I would assume they're probably not. But
Wait, what are we saying?
he said, like, I like Tarantino, but the scenes he lifts should be in the film credits. That's interesting.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's...
How would you cite that? They're like a bibliographic thing, and just like from here to here, it's like totally this other thing. But I mean, like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, people make references.
I mean, honestly, you know why he gets away with it? Because he does turn it into a new original thing that is very fun to watch.
Yeah. Anyway, let's shift back to 2001, maybe. Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. So because we haven't really necessarily, we kind of started to, but the first section is this ape section, this Dawn of Man.
Yes. Where
we've got sort of essentially like the missing link or the thing, the apes who are on the verge of becoming man. Mm-hmm. They are hanging out with some tapirs or how do you say that? Tapir?
I don't know what tapir is.
It's those little kind of oinky anteater looking things that
Oh, is that what that was?
I think that's a tapir. And how do you say it? Tapir. Tapir? Tapir. I think it's a tapir.
I just thought they looked like little plump penises.
Well, that's what it is. They're just hanging on. And you caught that. Kubrick was like, more animals.
We need some dick like animals in here. That's how Kubrick talked, by the way. Not a lot of people heard him speak.
Guys.
But...
Hey, Stanley's here. Oh! 37 more takes. Oh!
Yo, let's call him Hal. Yeah.
Yeah, how you doing? Tapir. Tape ear. Yeah, tape ear. I thought so. Big Stan. Visa card won't let you say. Oh, I'm sorry, Sharky Boy. I'm sorry. Thank you for the attempt, though. I appreciate it. If you'd like to just send a bag of money to my address, it won't be worth it because the postage you'll take out. No, I appreciate it. No, thank you.
And so there's all these tapirs and monkeys.
and monkeys, I believe?
Monkeys.
Monkeys. And so then the monkeys are the apes are walking around doing ape stuff.
There's two tribes.
Very peaceably eating plants side by side with these tapirs.
Mm-hmm. And then another tribe of what are they? Are they gorillas or apes? Apes. Yeah, apes.
Yeah, whatever.
He comes along, bullies them out of their pond.
Yeah, out of their watering hole.
Their watering hole, yeah.
Stanley Brick. Hey, yo, Brick! Oh, like Kubrick. I was like, why? Is that his nickname? Yeah. What's the one thing who's most interesting? I'll get to that in 1 second, Serene. Thank you for your weekly weekly interest and question about Judge Dredd. I love it. 1 second. I have not seen all of it, so I don't know. The one thing that I think probably most people misunderstood about Judge Dredd was Sylvester Stallone's dialogue.
I'd probably say how people must have understood that how good it was.
I think the one thing is Sylvester Stallone. That's what they wouldn't understand. Because isn't it funny though to make fun of the way that a person has a disability?
Does he have it?
I thought he had like
it's offensive to say that he has a disability because I don't think he has one.
I thought he had nerve damage.
Does he?
I thought so.
From what?
So which is more offensive for me to like
to assume that he's mentally challenged, which is what you're saying.
No. I think he has nerve damage.
You think they would just let a mentally challenged person dress up in tights,
stop,
and run around saying, That's what you're saying.
That is,
and that's what he said.
Oh my gosh,
he was probably like, guys, maybe we should put in Demolition Man. They clean the poop with 3 seashells. I think we've just cracked a code because he gets co-writing credits on all his movies. Is he?
Hold on. Okay.
It's like we'll put the seashells in,
right.
clean the poop.
Listen, please.
Makes total sense. And then she's got a Lethal Weapon poster in her office. She likes the 90s.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I forgot about that part. That movie's ridiculous.
And then they have sex with virtual VR gear, and his name is what was his name? Cypher, or what was Wesley Snipes' name?
It's Simon Phoenix.
And then I'm gonna jump out of a helicopter and say Phoenix. This is going great.
This is great. Complications suffered by Stallone's mother during labor forced her obstetrician to use 2 pairs of forceps during his birth. Misuse of these forceps accidentally severed a nerve and caused paralysis in parts of Stallone's face.
Forceps being like the little duck clamp thingies?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, because it moves like a duck? It's like, what? Yes.
Exactly. We're just going for it here. All right.
All right.
Damn, how did he fuck up doing that?
The doctor.
He's like, oops, sorry. His face is paralyzed.
The lower left side of his face is paralyzed, including parts of his lip, tongue, and chin. An accident which gave him his signature snarling look and slurred speech.
Oh, well. Egg on my.
I mean, no. Doesn't make you a dick because you
face.
didn't know. We're just dead. Okay.
Yikes.
How did this all go south? It didn't. It started real bad. And then who knows? Okay, here we go. Okay.
Look, I love
Sylvester Stallone.
I have a deep, almost no, it's just a full-blown obsession with Stallone.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fascinated by his career, the overall arc of his career. I've seen every single one of his movies.
I want to see Copland. I've never seen Copland. I really want to see Copland. Gosh, I want to see Copland. It's great.
We'll do it.
We'll do Copland for Corrupt Cops. We're going to do it.
Boom.
Pausa!
Pow.
I think that's what... Hey, hi, how's it going? Absolutely filled with stars. You know.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely filled. Quoting that 2010. MDK, murder, death, kill. Wait, what is that? His partial paralysis faces complications during birth. Haha. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. What's up, Brownie Jones? Corn fake! Thank you. We are all made of stars. Thank you so much, Corn Fake, for those get 19 months of unbelievable support.
We'll do a Stallone month at some point. I feel like that's gonna need to be a thing.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like there's just I want to compact it all into a month because then we could do. I want to do Cobra.
Yeah, watch The Specialist twice.
Oh, we can just do the shower scene on repeat for 90 minutes.
I think that's all right.
The most unnecessary sex scene of all time.
Except that it was Sylvester Stallone and Sharon Stone that everybody wanted it,
and
especially Kubrick.
The brick! Yo, Stallone, give her the brick!
So like, that's pretty good, yo, but do it 37 more times. Ow!
He's like, no problem. No problem.
Ew.
Here's the thing about that scene in The Specialist. They film him more lovingly.
Yeah.
That camera lingers on his butt more than it does on Sharon Stone.
Yeah.
And this was Basic Instinct era Sharon Stone.
That's true. It's weird. Thank you for those 19 months, my friend. Goodness gracious.
So you don't want to see him fuck until you've seen it, and then you're just like, you want it in your life.
The Party at Kitty and Studs. Yeah, have you seen The Party at Kitty and Studs?
No.
That's the stag film that Stallone did.
Wait, what?
It's a pornographic film.
I thought it was called The Italian Stallion.
It was renamed.
Following
the success of his boxing-themed porn, which came out after, and then Rocky, which...
Did he do a boxing?
No, he didn't. Yeah, Rocky, and then they whatever. Can you blame them? No, I can't. The Party of Kitty and Studs. I ain't never wanted to see Stallone bone. Get on the Stallone pony. What am I talking about?
The Stallone pony.
No, we're not. Why?
Put it on a T-shirt.
Oh gosh, where are these T-shirts coming from? Please put them away. No. Okay. So.
Anyways, the seriousness of 2001
Absolutely.
The monolith representing that we're gonna jump forward in time on an evolutionary scale.
So they're hanging out. They're all eating plants with the tapirs, and this is really about the death of vegetarianism.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, I could eat meat if I kill things.
Yeah. That's what I took from it.
So then there's this gigantic, iPhone, Samsung S6. Can the Stallone pony have Stallone as the centaur? Ow! What do you think, Kubrick? This is the weirdest.
I like that we're bridging these two together.
We're not really. We're trying.
We're trying, though.
Yeah. Oh!
All because of one Judge Dredd comment. It'll derail an entire episode real quick.
That's why Serene comes in here, I believe. No. Dave, what are you doing, Dave?
Dave,
Oh!
what are you doing?
Hey, Dave. Hey,
Dave.
Hey, Dave. I don't think you want to do it. Hey, Dave. I just made like a lot of bad choices recently. Oh. Imagine Stallone is Tom Cruise in Eyes Wide Shut. I will shut my wide eyes and imagine that right now.
Oh, just repeating everything. That'd be great. That'd be so good.
That would be great. Okay. Well,
I'm trying to think of
what
what
do you think?
Yeah. What was this?
This is
What do I think?
Yeah.
And he's always going like this. He's always going like this.
You.
Well,
I mean, like.
Stallone's just like, you got to put some mud on me, and then torture me. Where's the nearest village?
Goodness.
Exploding
Dave,
arrows.
find a monolith.
Find a monolith.
It's really
So-
ergonomic and very, very
Yeah.
commercial.
But like this other tribe of apes,
Displaces them from their watering hole.
right, and then like a night passes, and then when they wake up in the morning, the ones who have been displaced
Are like in this? They're ashamed and in this cave. Like they've been sleeping and they're just kind of like.
and they're huddled in like a
it's very
thunderstorm type thing.
Very
and,
interesting.
and then they wake up and there's this monolith, and they're freaking out because it's very clear, clean edges, and it's clearly it doesn't belong there.
Yeah.
And they touch it. And then out of nowhere, like within the next scene shows an ape kind of just playing with some dead bones and whatnot, and then
and
then he kind of picks one up and he's like, oh, I can use this to hit something.
I can hit it there. And it was interesting
That's causing some damage, and that's cool.
Yeah, because I was watching this thing with the talking about the casting of that, and because those performers truly are amazing. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Like they are so simian.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's so you have to.
Sorry.
Oh,
Whose face is that?
put your mud on me. It's my brother's. It's my
The
biological
statement with
brother.
the face is funny.
That is supposed to Stallone playing Sean Connery in Hunt for Red October. All right.
Pretty good.
Cool.
I'd see that.
I've not seen Hunt for Red October.
Oh, what?
Come on, it can't be that good. It's McTiernan. It is McTiernan.
It's the McTiernan trifecta. It's Predator, Die Hard, Hunt for October.
No.
Those are the three.
Come on.
Those are his
Is Hunt for Red October that good?
Yes.
Really?
It's the best Tom Clancy movie. Like, without question. It's the best Jack Ryan movie.
Okay.
Well,
No,
I got a postburn up.
Sorry.
I registered in my brain and I was like, oh, he burned me. And then I felt it like 5 seconds later. I was like, oh, he's talking down to me like I'm a goddamn child.
No, I am.
This guy doesn't like espionage, political espionage thrillers.
I am.
Have you seen Patriot Games?
I don't care.
What?
No.
It's fun. It's good.
Okay.
It's good Harrison Ford, man.
Okay. The Fugitive's good.
I grew up reading Tom Clancy books because I'm educated.
Because you like 3-page descriptions of weapons and. No, sorry.
You know why I started reading them was because I was playing a lot of Rainbow Six as a child, and I was like, I'm gonna read these books, and then I read them all, and but I don't think I understood a damn word because I was like 13.
Yeah, our carbine, something.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
No, but it's because like I read Tom Clancy. What do you read? I don't. The erudite Thomas Clancy literature.
I know what you're not reading. Ready Player One.
That's a fair point. I stopped reading that. Yeah, like I remember when I was a kid and everyone was reading like Michael Crichton and Tom Clancy, and
so you knew so you were like, I'm not gonna read that because everybody is reading that.
No, I decided not to read it because I
couldn't read.
Because I couldn't read, and this is the least opportune time to reveal this. But no, I picked it up and I was like, nah.
Yeah. That's fair.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't know. Because it was like I don't know. Yeah, whatever.
Can I ask what you did read?
Nothing.
Oh, so I was right.
What did I read?
Like, because you didn't like Hatchet.
No.
Like, what do you like? What do you like, dude?
I
What do you
like.
like?
I like Mark Twain, and I like.
There's
still not a better writer than Mark
right.
Twain or Ambrose Bierce. It's not. It's not. Michael Crichton died on November 5th, 2000 after a long.
I was reading
private
Homer's
battle.
The Odyssey.
It's not. I've never. I'm not. Never mind. My alcoholic uncle had every Tom. I was reading. My teacher is an alien, and I was reading Choose Your Own Adventure. And I was reading the novelization of Gremlins 2, the new batch, which I still own, and the novelization of Ghost Dad, which I have not seen, but have read the book of.
Really?
I read. What else did I read? There's
the novelization of Ghost Dad. Wow.
Yeah.
What was that like? That put you in a hole?
I'll show you.
Oh, you still have it?
I definitely still
Wow.
have it.
That is so funny.
It's still here. Hold on a second. I have a sort of a rather extensive collection of novelizations. Come on, where are you guys? I brought you in here.
Michael Crichton died on November 5th, 2008 after a long private battle with a velociraptor.
Here you go.
Wow. Bill Cosby, as you've never seen him before. Yikes.
Yeah, it aged well, unfortunately.
Look at that bad boy.
Yeah.
That is something special. Look, he's even got like black gloves on. This is just an ominous cover.
Collie West, did we bring up Gremlins novelizations and you had off the top of your head Gremlins novelization knowledge? That's amazing. That's one I definitely read. And I read it before I saw the film, and then I loved the film.
Ghost Dad?
Yeah, Ghost Dad. These are the novelizations I own.
Whoa, the novelization of 89 Batman.
Yeah.
How freaking rad is that? That is cool.
It has all the quality of a quirky plot-based porno minus the sex, that movie. That's good. That's nice. Yeah. It's great. That's fantastic. You have it. You own it. That's really great.
That's just cool.
Yeah,
Get
that's
crazy.
actually like a bunch of short stories.
Yeah, that looks cool.
That I don't think. And this one, because there was a time where I had decided it was a short-lived time where I was like, my stream is going to be reading movie novelizations.
Oh, maybe we should do that at some point.
I don't know. I probably would get sued and taken off the whatever. But then someone at TwitchCon, I saw her and she brought this and she was like, here's this movie novelization. I was like, that's amazing. So we went out and did Apollo 13 novelization. It's amazing.
I kind of want to read this Batman one just to see how they do it.
Yeah, it's not bad. Look, so here, check it out. So here, listen to this. We did this before, but listen to this. Gosh, this is
because it's interesting to read like a famous scene from Apollo 13,
and they like add stuff,
someone's interpretation of it.
Yeah. Huh. It'd be funny if they have like sort of like they add like editorializing like on the performance. And he's like, he did it, but he did it unconvincingly. It was weird. And he'd be like, why are you bagging on Gary Sinise right now, man? What's wrong with you? Why would you do that?
I like that you did a dig at Gary Sinise.
It's not a dig. It's like if there was a dig. He's just the funniest person to mention. Funnier than Kevin.
I love Gary Sinise.
I love Gary Sinise. Yeah. Funnier to say like that's the person they're picking on because Tom Hanks is the most obvious. Kevin.
Oh, it was the perfect one.
Good. Yeah. I'm not. Gary Sinise is fantastic. Okay. I'm Batman, said Batman. Here we go. This is prologue. It was a night like any other in the city. Too hot, too humid, too loud. The sound of music mixed with car horns and laughter and the occasional scream. The streets swarmed with life, 10 times as busy now that the sun was gone. I'm really dialed into this now. I can't give up until the end.
It.
Yeah, the streets swarmed with life, 10 times as busy now that the sun was gone, and the scum of the night could crawl from their holes like roaches who needed the darkness to feed. Not that the streets were dark. Some of the streetlights still worked. This is good information. Enough to show the pushers wave to the hookers, the hustlers laughing as some sucker got fleeced at 3-card money, the addicts and alkies huddled in their corners, at peace as long as their stash held out. Other stereotypes. Brighter still were the tattoo parlors, the peep shows, the broken-down saloons, the unwashed windows swarming with their neon imitations of daylight. And over it all, Luna, capital L, the full moon, ancient symbol of madness, rose to show its approval. Welcome to Gotham City.
Wow! And overlooking
Suck it, Clancy! Write that in your
Luna! Mother Moon. That is fucking cool.
Not bad, right?
It's really cool.
It's especially for like a, 12-year-old or whatever I was.
That's so
Oh yes, so Into the Spider-Verse is great. Why do we always end up talking about different movies? Because movies are great.
We're going the wrong way. Put that away. We'll look like tourists. Yeah, it's just like, I mean, that's great. I love it.
I know. Should take it with you. Read it cover to cover.
Okay.
No, you can. You don't need to.
I feel like it's just homework.
Here, this is the end. They turned off the bat signal as the sun set over Gotham City. A much quieter Gotham City. Down in the streets, people laughed, music played, life went on, and overhead the gargoyles watched silently from the old Gotham Cathedral. Long ago, it was believed that gargoyles could protect a place from evil. One of the gargoyles moved. It was the Batman.
I think that's quite good.
That's all you need.
I think that's quite good.
Beginning and end.
Da, da, da.
Yeah. Freaking awesome.
That's great.
I know.
Well, we've gone way off topic.
Yeah, we have, but it was good. No, I
It
don't
was
know.
great.
It was
great.
Okay, so they touched the monolith. I wish I had tuned in.
They touched the monolith.
I wish I tuned in just now and been like, oh wow, they're reading novelization and talking about Stallone and his face. Well, this is weird. What movie did they digress from? And they go, and they go, 2001 is what they're not talking about? Those sons of bitches.
They're reading the novelization of Apollo 13.
Oh my gosh. So they touch the monolith.
They touch the monolith. They learn how to use bones as weapons. They go to the other tribe of apes.
The apes are like,
and they got weapons
we're gonna
now.
fight you. And they literally are all armed. And I go, oh dang, they organized.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was like that one bone guy.
Yeah.
And I thought it was gonna be like they're like, hey, we got a guy and he learned how to do this thing with a bone. No, he like had a training session. Like, Mr. I'll make a man
They're all
out
doing
of you.
it in like synchronicity. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And they're They don't do that. But and then they kill it. They beat the living crap out of this. It has a very weird like thunk.
Like, yeah, you can even see one or two of the bones
like wobbly,
a little bit. Yeah,
kind of like the Braveheart sword.
Yeah.
They touch a monolith, and then eventually a space donut, and then eventually an old man, and then we go back to touching the monolith at the end. Fair point.
Yeah.
Thanks. Good night, guys. The apes show up with their bones like, "What up, dog? You ain't talking crap now." And the other apes must have been like, "Huh?" Like,
he's like, "You can talk?"
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. But they're also like, cool. Okay, we're gonna fight, but like, what are you doing with those bones? Because they don't even fight in the first place. They just like scare them away, and they're like, "You're aggressive." And
because they don't know what bones are. Like they don't understand what they're doing.
But they don't even like physically the first time.
Oh
They don't even like physically.
It's all It's all just intimidation. Yeah.
And the other guys are like, we're
right.
We're sensitive types. And then they go like, but.
And then they beat the shit out of him, and the main guy with the bone, and he throws it.
Beat him, and then he goes, throws it up into the most famous match cut in all of cinema.
Yeah.
And it goes.
And it jumps 60 million years?
Bloom. Yeah. And what I did not know this, I was watching the documentary, and in theory, they never make this clear at all in any way, but that thing that I assumed was a satellite or a space station is supposed to be a weapon. Yeah. Yeah. And so it goes from the bone as a weapon to
a new modernized
the weapon.
Which I when I read that, I was like, oh, that's really interesting, and I kind of wish I had that context. Because that jump, so the spaceship that you think is a spaceship, it's actually a nuclear weapon device, yeah. And that's an interesting like weapon into weapon, and how despite the vast technological jump and the 60 million years of evolution and everything, it's still what can you use to gain leverage over someone else?
Yeah, and I mean how what an interesting. Comment that the dawn of man, because you think of it as like, oh yeah, using tools is a step up, right? Mm-hmm. But the dawn of man really is figuring out how to use a weapon to kill someone, and then to show your dominance, but also like kill someone to survive. You will not take our watering hole. We will eat tapirs. And
it's like the industrialization of man. Yeah. Like it's when we learned
that our needs supersede
it's quite sad.
That of others to the extent that we can.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the reason that Kubrick took out the subplot, which was that there were nuclear bomb devices circling the Earth. was that he had just finished Doctor Strangelove,
Right.
and he felt like he didn't want to hammer home that topic again.
Yeah, and they're like, this guy really learned to start loving the bomb. Am I right? It's a nice, it's a strange love. All right, moving on. So then we're into this. We are into this section, which I really
probably
like.
my favorite section of the whole movie is the docking of the ship to the space station.
The Blue Danube sequence,
Yes.
and then it's so great. That's where you just like I paused it and like took pictures on my phone.
Yeah.
I was like, this is amazing. I mean, like they've got that open rectangle thing. They're like windows of people just like upside, but all like, they're upside down. They're here. This is. I mean, it's just.
And that's what's remarkable.
Freaking fascinating.
Is the
just unbelievable.
The
Stunning.
fact that you look at those and the detail of it, like where you can look into the windows, like seeing it in 70mm on a big screen, that was a revelation to me because I was like, oh my goodness, all those windows, there's activity going on in there. Which in 1968, to accomplish that effect,
it's
all because it's all matte paintings, and then they had to literally film it but it's all done in camera,
right?
And so that was an incredible amount of work for a seemingly. But it adds.
It's not a superimposition. Are you saying it's actually a matte over?
They filmed. How did they do it? They explained it where it's a matte or a model, and then they film the model, and then they put black velvet over the model, and then they film the actors in a space, and then take that and somehow shrink it down.
Right,
but they filmed that against that because they were doing complicated camera. I honestly can't really explain.
No, it's what they call like optical effects, which you're like that's just like you like cut some shit up and taped it together and made some magic. Yeah, that is like
it's my favorite kind of filmmaking. Yeah,
it's amazing. Is Pretzel still going? It is. Yeah, is that distracting? We can turn it down. Is it? I guess it's pretty low. Walk softly and carrying an armored tank division. Do you guys hear the music, or do you just occasionally hear something where you're like, what is that? Because the effects, again, the effects in this movie are hand in hand with everything else. The visuals are incredible, from the framing to just everything is. When you talk about every frame of painting, and it's Kubrick. It's just that. Oh, it's just the chat messages. Oh, you guys don't hear the music? Okay, well, I'll turn the music off anyway.
And it's just how they use the Blue Danube composition with the movement of the spaceships on screen, and how the camera moves in between the space station, and it all just kind of flows so effortlessly. It's like it really is a dance between sound and image. And when the ship starts to sync up with the space station and rotate with it, and then it cuts to that wide shot where you see it starting to circle around, you understand how it's starting to dock. Yeah. It is. Yeah. It gives me chills when I watch it, because I'm just like, that's everything you could ever hope to do in terms of the cinematic medium is accomplished in that sequence.
In terms of the geography of what's going on and communicating it clearly cinematically. It's just amazing.
Just an idea and a thematic idea on top of that, and like he's doing all of it without any words. It's remarkable.
Yeah, and so much of that's something, because so much of the beginning of the movie, all the beginning of the movie, but like so much of the film is essentially a silent film.
And that's why
it's amazing.
I think that's honestly why it holds up as a timeless piece, is because there's just not any dialogue to date it at all.
And even when, because I feel like they, because when we enter that section with the guy going to the moon, and he comes to the space station, he's about to, or he goes to the space station and then goes to the moon. Yeah, he's at the kind of the airport area. Right. Because we do have some conversation, and it is like it feels kind of 60s, but like in this also very kind of, because I associate astronauts with the 60s anyway, so it just kind of like works. It's just great, and the performances are fantastic and so subdued, but so realistic, but still not lacking, not lacking in life. Or
and it's almost mundane. That's what's so cool about it.
Yeah, and it's so great because, and here we'll move into talking about something that I really wanted to talk about. Well, it's just like a shot, but I love that, and they mention it as well, that like when they show him traveling through space, he's asleep. It's not
Yeah.
a big deal. Other movies would.
Yeah,
Would have like they're like, we're going to space. Like have the person, and you go like, and
We're going to freaking space.
Yeah, and there are things that like, and there you watch movies like that, and you go like, oh, why does he care? Like they're showing it to us because it's cool, but why does he care? Why is he looking out the window? He's done it a million times.
Right.
They don't. He's asleep. It's a commuter flight. He's been there a million times.
That's fun.
That pen, because it's
the best effect shot in the movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's amazing. And he like Jeff called me to wake me up and go like, hey, we're doing this thing tonight. It was like 4 o'clock. It was 3 o'clock. We were fine. But and I was exhausted. But we just fell to talking about this, and like the first specific thing I think we maybe blew down you, but the first like specific shot we talked about was that pen shot. It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable.
Can we show them that? Like, can we pull?
Yeah, I don't know. At least a hold on.
Here, let me.
Let's see, 2001 pen. Okay, let's see if we can do that.
Yep.
Yeah, be a gift. Be a gift, baby.
Sneeze. And like all the food, the little packs of.
Yeah. Oh,
I enjoy eating, but I could really get on board with sucking my food out of a box. I really could. That would make it real easy.
Oh my gosh, this is so amazing.
Look at that.
That's ridiculous. That's so amazing. Hold on.
And I don't even know how they did it. Is that wire work too?
No, I'll tell you, it's amazing. It's incredible. Hold on, let me show people before we do it. It's just incredible. Let's see. This is gonna be worth it, I promise.
It's a great shot.
Yeah.
It's really a great shot.
It's really great.
It's really great.
What is it called?
I was watching Seinfeld last night, and he was doing a bit about chewing gum. He's like, why couldn't you chew gum in class? Like, what was the big deal? And he's like, but I kind of get it, because like when you're chewing gum, you just look like you don't have a care in the world. Look at that.
So this is
you're getting a booty raid, buddy.
Oh my gosh! What's happening? Oh my gosh! All right,
booty raid.
Here's
butts.
What's up? Is it a booty raid? Is this bloody? Did we get raided by bloody? I can't even see anything. What's going on? What's up?
That's a whole lot of butts.
Oh man.
Oh my
bloody
goodness.
What's up, bloody? How you doing? Lots and lots of, oh, for crying out loud.
For goodness gracious, it's starting to get stinky up in here with all these butts.
Thank you for the subscription. Thank you. No, you didn't have to. No, please, thank you. Ow! Buddy! Thank you so much for the freaking raid and for the 17 months of unbelievable support. Thank you so much. You recently watched this movie for the first time? You and my brother? Correct? Correct? Because check this out. We're just gonna go for this. We're gonna go for it. I'm gonna regret it later. But here we go. Hold on a second. Let's see here.
Oh.
Hold on.
Are you about to pull up a big butt?
Yeah, hold on. Sorry, okay.
Oh God, he's showing me his butt.
Yeah, sorry. Question of etiquette. Do I give you the crotch or the ass? Hey guys, thank you for the freaking raid. Jerry, she showed me her whole butt. I don't know. Indeed, we did. Correct. What did you think? Hop on in on the conversation. Oh, will this not do it? Oh, for crying out loud. On the first date, well, Kramer, sometimes ladies, the whole butt. The whole butt? Elaine shows up. Is that kind of world for women? The whole butt. Are you writing this? Is this real?
I don't think she's making this up as she goes
great.
along. It's fantastic.
That's amazing. The ending was weird. Yes, it was. Yes, it certainly was.
We're in the ending right now.
Yeah. Hold on a second. All right, well, whatever. It's much more, I thought I could pull up the actual movie, but there's this beautiful effect, right?
That just looks like a pin floating in space.
It's a pen floating in space in 1968. This door opens, ka-chunk, a space waitress, sorry, it's not, so stewardess walks in with her Pan Am grip shoes as the guy is dozing. And she comes over, and one of the most stunning things I've ever seen, it racks focus from this pen to her.
Yeah, it racks.
She goes over, pulls it out of the air, plops it back in his chest pocket, and is like, and walks off.
It's so great.
It's incredible. It's incredible. I'm exhausted, so I'm going to bed. All right, lots of love, Wolf. Lots and lots of love. Thank you so much. You wasted all those 2001 references in Bloody's chat. Well, bring them back. Bring him back. Can't imagine the audience is everything extended amalgamation of color and stuff. Like, you can't imagine them sitting through it. You can't imagine their brains being able to handle it. Hi, boys. How was your day today? Good, Liam. I'm amazed you think that could be a Seinfeld episode. Hey, I don't know.
I do know because I've seen Seinfeld a billion times.
Looked up trivia, so you read how they did that. Yeah, and I saw it in a. I mean, it is stunning. I wish I could show you the effect in the actual
I forgot
film.
that it racks.
It racks focus.
That's what threw me because I'm like, okay, so how are they doing this? Because it racks. So
and like, look at that. You go a string. They can't possibly be doing a string. What they did, and this blows my mind. And this is why I love practical effects so much, because this would not. I mean, I don't know. It would probably look okay with CG, but this is so.
It wouldn't look as good as that.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. No, it's so impeccably real, and the reason is it is real. They took a giant pane of glass, used double-sided tape, stuck a pen on it, and rotated it. And when she walks up, she plucks it off of the glass. Doesn't that blow your mind?
I love that's too much. That hurt me.
I know.
That hurt me.
It's unbelievable.
That's so simple.
It's one of the best effects I've ever seen in a film.
And it's so good.
And like, and we're talking about this stuck out of my head.
Damn it.
And we watched the entirety of 2001, and everything is breathtaking. But this thing, I was like, what an effect!
Yeah,
what an effect! It just. I mean, goodness.
Oh my
gracious.
God, the pen is mightier than the mind.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, the pen is mighty. We'll just go home and fuck the prom queen. You know what I'm saying?
That's a.
Oh, you combined Last Crusade and then The Rock. You threw in some Rock.
The Rock. Yeah.
Winners go home and fuck the prom.
I was trying to do it as Stallone because we talked about what if Stallone had been Sean Connery in The Hunt for Red October. So it was a big old mess of crap. Hey guys!
Junior!
Thanks for being Junior. You were not born in 2001. People born in 2001
are babies.
Space babies. Are you a space baby? Wow! Sorry for
18 years old.
Sorry for young shaming you. Congratulations, and bear in mind that while I was just being a jerk, you have your entire life ahead of you, and lots of time with which to just do anything you want. And
what's your shirt say?
I'm getting a little depressed. It says praise the Suns. It says praise the Suns in Star Wars font. It's a Dark Souls thing.
Gotcha. I wouldn't know about it. Got it. I'll go back to my Batman.
So it's great. It actually, so there's this thing, there's a character in Dark Souls who's obsessed with it. You meet him and he's kind of a crazy knight and he goes, the sun is beautiful, don't you think? It's amazing. And look at, if only I could be so grossly incandescent. He loves the sun. And you're like, this dude likes the sun a lot. Boy, it's a very weird game, Dark Souls.
Yeah.
This is how the dialogue goes. And he does this thing where he praises the sun. It's this gesture that he... Anyway.
Is it like a god to
him? He's an NPC. Yeah, sort of. It's an interesting thing. He thinks he's it's his father. The son is all our father. And he's nuts. But this is... so it says, it says, Dark Souls, praise the suns, playing on the twin sons of Tatooine. So it's like twice the dork in you know what I mean? Like, this is like nerd squared.
Dude has a boner for the sun.
This dude
Total boner.
has a total boner for the sun.
So, yeah, see, there you go. There he is. That's him. He's going, praise the sun. So you were born when this movie happened. Yep. Yeah. So that's one thing that Kubrick missed. He predicted a lot, but he didn't predict your birth. Or maybe he did. Maybe.
Oh, you're in this movie.
Yeah. And then there was Lijax. Bam, 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 bam.
You were the baby being born at the end of the movie.
Star baby.
Star baby.
Child. Hello. Hello, hello. Lobro, if RoboCop didn't exist, you might have fallen in love with Judge Dredd instead. They're similar. Wash your mouth out. Sorry. I've seen this much of Judge Dredd, and I don't want to pass judgment on it.
He's doing this, but he's seen.
I've seen.
They don't know how to use the seashells with this thing.
I've not seen enough of it to judge it, but I will still judge it because there's no way it's as good as.
Judge it all you want, because it's great, and I know you think it's
should
great.
play the Blue Danube, but then freaking Tchaikovsky will come after me. Who did it? Who's the Blue Danube? Tchaikovsky. Frumperman! Yeah. Muchas gracias! Why when I put my arms down up, do you start phasing out of existence?
Whoa. Whoa!
Thank you so much, Frumpe!
I don't like that.
Strauss. Is it Strauss as well?
I'm like, it's the ending of Avengers.
As well as this?
Do that again.
Thank you,
Tony, I'm scared!
Oh, I haven't seen that. Does someone...
Nah.
But I don't know who that is. That was clearly...
You don't know.
I'm not going to say. Spoiler.
You don't.
Miss Bossy
Now.
Pants, thank you for the tubuloso raid. That's what I said. I'm talking like Michelangelo from the 1989 Ninja Turtles. De nada, compañero. Muchas gracias por la suscripción. Muchas gracias por el apoyo. Thank you very much. You know, it's funny, Bloody. You're like, play the Blue Danube, and I'm like, I don't want to get copy striked. And then as I'm saying it, Johann Strauss's also Sprach Zarathustra comes on. Same guy. So I don't have any leg to stand on. Should totally play it because it is awesome, and it was in the movie as well. Yes! I'll get muted though, won't I?
No, it's public domain.
But the performance isn't public domain. You know what I'm saying? Unless I can find Why
don't you grow a couple of
because
you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. I think. What are you? Blue Ten. That is simultaneously the most literate and cultured.
Classiest burn you're ever gonna feel, baby.
It's like that's the burn that I got in 5th grade at the Gifted and Talented School.
The GATE program.
Yeah.
I was talking about that with Kelsey.
Understand one thing.
Shut your mouth, Ron
isn't
Howard.
the Gifted and Talented program such a it's such an elitist thing.
It is.
It's like, oh, well, are you gifted? Oh, well, because you can't be in this class unless you're gifted.
Yeah. Take chances, Lobro. Risk it for the biscuit. Are you quoting?
Risk it for
Are
the
you quoting Fired Up? I really hope you're quoting Fired Up. Because that would make me really happy if we also got to talk about Judge Dredd, Fired Up, and read the novelization of Batman in our 2001 stream.
Look how well that pin shot goes with this music. You just kind of be floating.
Yeah. Raiders incoming! Get out the milk and cookies! Thank you, Miss Bossy Pants, for the freaking raid. Lots and lots of love. Are you showing the pen scene? Because I'm intrigued now. This is
It's
just
one
a part
part
of it.
It's one shot of it.
It floats, and then floats, and then, hold on. We're just going to do this. It's all going to be... Early grassroots to get him to pay attention or even grab his ear. Why? Are you talking more about Judge effing Dredd?
Look, I don't know what you want me to do. I am a firm Judge Dredd supporter. Freaking love that movie.
Proponent of Judge Dredd.
It's got the greatest Max von Sydow performance I've ever seen in my life. Better than Seventh Seal. Better than The Exorcist.
This is tragic.
On top of that, it's got the best Diane Lane performance I've ever seen.
Is Diane Lane?
Yeah, she's in it, and she's great, right?
Judge
Better than
Dredd.
Unfaithful. Better than... I don't really know too many Diane Lane movies.
Better than the Cotton Club.
Cotton Club.
Thank you. What are you doing? Bloody! Thank you for the gifted sub to Socrates. Thank you, Soy, for accepting instead
the
of
music. It's starting to clash.
But it's 2 Strauss. Double the Strauss. It's like a Doublemint gum commercial with 2 twin Strausses. I have no idea what they're talking about. You feel like you have a fever dream. That is 2001, my friend. Buddy, thank you for gifting that sub to Soy.
Oh my god, this is getting intense.
Thank you so remix. Yes, thank you so much for gifting that sub to Soy. Thank you so much. Lots and lots of love. My gosh, how is Final Fantasy 8000, by the way? So yeah, hold on. I'm finding this pen scene. But while I'm doing that, so so he's on the we
You get on the space station. They have a meeting to talk about an artifact that they have dug up on the moon. That was several hundred feet below the surface of the moon. That was having an electromagnetic pulse, emitting an electromagnetic pulse that they picked up on. And they dug it out, and this guy arrives to see it, and it's like a top secret thing that no one knows about.
And lo and behold, it's the Samsung.
It's another iPhone
6S, yeah. Yeah. So they've dug the whole thing out, and it's just sitting there. They walk up to it in their crazy ribbed, for her pleasure, space suits.
I think they're the coolest.
They're amazing
of all time. I really love the design of those
space
suits.
They're really great.
Wow. Oh, by the way, can I just say, real quick, scroll down. Can you? Okay, go down. Okay, see his face right there. 6 Reasons Why. Just show his face. Okay. It's the cover. Okay, when I worked at, can they see that?
No.
All right, hold on. I need them to see that.
Yeah,
because
this is the quickest way for all of this to happen. This is what's going to happen. You do that, I'll do the other thing. This is very low fi.
When I first heard about 2001 as a kid, I was like, oh cool, that's like a legendary movie, like a real film movie. I'll check it out. I went to Blockbuster and I saw the cover.
That was the VHS cover.
And it was the VHS cover. I'll pull it up real quick because it's important that you see what I'm talking about.
Oh, that scene because the moon base shouldn't exist, but it does. It's crazy but scary at the same time.
Can you guys? Okay, can you guys see this?
Yeah. Hold on.
Kind of angle it maybe a little bit more. Yeah. Okay. So I went into Blockbuster as like a 12-year-old, and I picked up the movie, and I was like, oh, awesome! Michael J. Fox is in this. Because doesn't that look just like Michael J. Fox? Like to this day, I look at this. And I think that is I still think that's Michael. Like, it's not one of the main actors. That is Michael J. Fox. And I was so confused. And I was such a big fan of Back to the Future that I got so excited, and then I went home and he wasn't in it.
Well, that's how it goes. All right, now here, this is how we're doing this. Now. Here we go. We're going to watch this. This is... Oh, for Pete's sake. What are you not?
Who the hell is Michael J. Fox? You need to
Teen
watch
Wolf?
Teen Wolf, Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3.
I'm try to name everything. Greedy, except for Back to the
Spin
Future.
City.
Spin City. Life with Mikey. I've not seen Life with Mikey.
What was it? Doc Hollywood.
What's the?
No, Michael J. Fox wasn't in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. That was
Rick Moranis.
That was Rick Moranis. The Frighteners, yeah, Frighteners is great.
Here we go. Thanks, ring light. You're really screwing my life up right here.
That is a terrible way of showing that scene.
Absolutely. Hold on. Just for right now.
There's that pen.
There's that pen.
That is such a great effect.
It's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
To have a movie trivia game so you know some Jeff or Lobo. That's a really good idea. We're gonna tear each other apart and not be friends anymore. And then it racks focus from the pen. Gosh, I'm ruining this. And there are her sticky Pan Am shoes. Serene, you're just saying that because Jeff knows more about film than I do and loves Judge Dredd.
Yeah, that's true. I'm smarter and I have better taste.
Oh my gosh.
Because I love Judge Dredd.
Case in point, Judge Dredd. And then she grabs it.
Oh, damn!
And then puts it in there. And it is just on... Oh, look at our moody lighting.
Ooh.
Amazing taste. Based on Judge Dredd. Whether you're a pro or anti-Judge Dredd. Pro Judge Dredd or just haven't seen Judge Dredd. That's...
I don't know why you're so biased against Judge Dredd.
I'm just gonna thank you for showing that. You're welcome, Dakota. Dakota. Oh, I thought you were being sarcastic because it was like keying out half the time. The technology being utilized in the stream is such a tribute to 2001. Yeah, exactly. Definitely true. So.
That's right, Ducky. Pan Am doesn't exist anymore. That is one of the things that we were like, oh, this movie isn't dated. But we were talking about it earlier, and it's like, yeah, but Pan Am doesn't exist.
Yeah, but
it's so interesting that that's like the one thing that dates it.
And I love that, like, and in the industry it goes in. There's like a Howard Johnson's in the terminal, you know.
The what?
He's like there's like a Howard Johnson. The where he's walking in is like there's like a hotel, and in the space terminal.
Yeah.
Howard Johnson. Yeah, like the hotel
I don't know
chain.
what that is.
The hotel chain. It's like Howard Johnson. Okay. So it's just a...
Was that like a Holiday Inn type deal?
Yeah, but it's like a hojo. It's like a Howard Johnson.
Did you call it a hojo?
Yeah, it's a thing.
But don't turn to me and say
people call it a hojo. I think I've heard it in one or two movies. People go the hojo.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never. Was it like a nice chain of?
I don't know. I don't think I've. Maybe I've.
Was
been
it a
Howard
Ramada
Johnson.
style?
Hey, Ed the Clown. I don't know. No, Ramada's like nicer. I don't know. It's just
about
a space
hotels,
hotel.
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't either. But yeah, well, I loved that it's those things that remind me to go. Oh, the pen.
Sorry.
Yeah. I loved it. I love that those things like Pan Am, like do date it in this tiny way because it reminds my brain to be impressed by the movie. Usually, I don't want to take it out of the film, but I go, oh man.
Yeah, I agree. I like it.
It looks like it's trying to stab me. It's fine. I trust it. Pen. Yeah.
So anyways, they touch this.
They go to the monolith, and very much in the same way, I mean, well, not exactly the same way, but they crowd around the monolith, the astronauts touch it, an ear-piercing, like modem sound makes them go, and then we're into the next portion, the next
Jupiter
section.
mission.
The Jupiter mission. It's called Jupiter mission, Beyond Infinity or something. It's called Jupiter and Beyond Infinity.
Well, no, that's and Beyond the Infinite, but that's later.
Oh. Okay. Then it just says like 18 months later. Yeah. A deliberate reference? I just think that I think Pan Am was just kind of like the preeminent airline at the time, and they just were trying to. Because that's another thing is as psychedelic as this movie gets, and is as speculative and kind of far flung in terms of technology and the future and stuff as it is. It's also very grounded, and that is something that Kubrick worked very hard to kind of maintain, is this groundedness, this absolute reality. I love music in that scene. It's like the choir from Airplane actually could hit their notes. Are we still here? My internet exploded and I lost stream for me. We are. Don't look left. The pen will poke my eye out.
Boom. Great piece of music.
Yes, and then we're really good job, Strauss. Johan, you're good dude. And so then we leap forward. I think about like 18 months or something, and we are on the
what's the ship called?
The Discovery, the shuttle Discovery, which I think actually may have been an actual spacecraft, an actual U.S.
It sounds like one.
Yeah, I think there is a shuttle Discovery. That's why I said shuttle Discovery. It's not the shuttle Discovery. It's the big, lollipop Spaceballs thing, Discovery. And they're on the way to Jupiter, which is, crazy long way away. And we've got 2 astronauts and a crew.
Crew of 4.
Yeah.
3
others, and they're in hypersleep. Discovery is also the new Star Trek series, true. It's also a credit card. No, it isn't. That's close to it, though. Discovery. Yeah, this is off the...
It's a channel.
It is. Discovery is a channel. Yeah, so they've got three sort of in stasis, in hypersleep crew members. Two astronauts flying the ship, essentially, taking care of stuff. And then another crew member, the HAL 9000.
That's right.
The
infamous...
Yes.
HAL 9000.
A computer
And this is like the
that has
meaty part
never,
of the film.
Yeah, it is. I know, it's weird. It's the part that, like, when people talk about 2001, it's really kind of the only part that people talk about. They talk about it. I mean, that summary is just for that, is essentially just that part of the
I think it's because it's where you
it's the part you latch onto narratively.
Yeah, it's the most narrative conflict within the film. And
yeah. And it's, I mean, I think...
It's the most interesting set, for sure. Yeah. Some of the most interesting visuals. When you see... that spinning set for the first time. Every single time I look at it, I'm just like, that is so gosh darn remarkable.
Yeah, there's such
and they really built it, and it was a really like a working rotating centrifuge.
Yeah.
That rotated, and they would just lock the camera onto the floor of it. And so from your eye's perspective as a viewer, it looked like the actors were running past the camera and then just running up the ceiling and then running back down, and he would do these really long takes where he would just show it. And it was it's so simple. I mean, it's not simple because they had to build that entire thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But it in terms of the effect of it, it's so simple, and yet it's just like the pen.
Yeah.
It's just so... it leaves such a lasting impression.
Yeah, in terms of it's simple in the sense that, like, it's like, how do we do that? Well, we'll just build actually that, and then we'll just film it.
Right.
I mean, but then they do have these wonderful. There's like every shot is famous. There's that wonderful shot where she's like, she just walks up the wall, this circular thing, and you're just like, so hold on, gosh darn, I just want to find all of these things. Discovery is a shuttle, but it's also what you call it when you find out the sunlight that hits your face is 8 billion years old. Yes.
What?
7 minutes old when it hits your face.
Oh. Wait.
But, like...
those are different opinions.
Yeah, it's all right. I don't know which one to agree. I would believe either of them. Yeah, but there's just that great scene where she's walking, and like... and they had these rotating sets, and they would clamp the camera to it and rotate it or move with the same time to just, it's just amazing.
So the camera's moving, but then when you watch it back, it looks like the camera's static and the actors are moving. Exactly. And it's just these really simple, like practical ideas that give amazing results.
And that's it, Dougie Poo. Instead of like, because I mean, I don't know, like I like that side of effects as well, where it's like, how do we figure out how to fake it? How do we figure out how to cheat it? How do we figure out to whatever? And obviously they're doing a lot of this here, but then there's sometimes like, well, we need like a centrifuge effect. Let's build a centrifuge.
Yeah,
it's like, wow.
But even the stuff with them outside in space,
where
they're having to float, it's all wires.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that one where so
and they literally, the way they did that was they put the astronauts, they had like a little ring thing built into their belt, and then another one that kind of hidden under their arms, but they would film with the camera pointed like on the ground, pointing up into the sky, and they would literally hover the actors on top of the frame, like on top of the camera, so the wires would be sticking straight up so you couldn't see them. And that's how you did it.
Hidden by the body.
And that's how they got all that stuff, and it's just like, oh, it's just about angles. It's just
Yeah, and like
it's good.
And that scene where he blows through one airlock into the other,
is
like,
which they explained it, but I still couldn't.
So yeah, because he was talking about, and it was like, because from the frame, like, we're talking about the end where he doesn't have a space helmet on, and he has to like blow himself.
He gets locked out by Hal outside of the spaceship.
Spoiler, I guess, but whatever. Like he opens one airlock, opens the airlock from the pod, and then like shoots himself. And we're looking down this kind of airlock that's like this corridor like this, and he goes, and in the frame he goes, like, here's the camera, here's where you're looking, and he just goes, boom, and like hurtles toward it, and then like comes back up and like latches onto a thing and closes the airlock. I guess within less than a minute, because otherwise he would have died.
Right.
And the way that he explained it is that it was like a long, narrow hallway, but what we're looking at, it was like this, and he actually fell.
Oh.
Which is how they got him to shoot toward the camera. I mean,
how did he go back up there?
He was on wires.
So he fell in,
and they like clank, and
I think they like sped it up a little. Oh wow!
Well, probably, but they like you can kind of like he kind of like hits the end and sort of like bounces around and then kind of whatever. And he said he was like I didn't want to do that a lot, so we did it like twice. Wow, it's amazing. Yeah, it's incredible because again in camera he shoots toward here and then he's like floating here, but really he's hanging and being yo-yoed up. I mean, it's really insane.
That's so cool.
I know. It's just it's crazy. I mean, all of this just to
that entire outdoor sequence when they go outside the pod to fix the ship.
That's when my brain stops working and I go, I have no idea how any of this happened.
Like, it's so cool, and I just love that there's no music.
There's no sound.
It's just the sound of his like oxygen tank inside his suit. So it's just, and then when things start to go wrong, I love it's just so smart and so simple. A lot of this is just so simple because his breathing starts to go, and you're so conditioned at that point to just go along with that noise, but it's starting to speed up, so you really are starting to grip your chair a little bit.
Yeah,
it's so good,
and it's great. There's so many of the things like that, blowing through the airlock and stuff that happens out there, and then when it cuts to the like Hal taking over the pod and it turning slowly. There's just no sound, as there would be in space, but it's so
and it makes it more terrifying.
And it's really great.
Yeah, when he turns that pod around, it is terrifying.
He goes yeah. It has the little it's incredible. So simple, elegant. The elegant solution. Yeah, in some ways it's just like, oh god, like. It's just the way because that pen glass thing. It's just something you would never. It's so simple you never think of it.
Actually, that kind of blew my mind, like for real.
I was like, and I just go like I made an audible noise when I was watching, and I just went like, no, what? Just unbelievable. Just
man.
Yeah. So we've got these. I guess to backtrack for no reason, we've got these two astronauts. They're on there with Hal, who is the AI in question. Finally, we get to the AI we're talking about. He is in charge of the entire computer. He is a series of computers that has never made a mistake.
Right.
Ever.
And he is. No one thinks he can make a mistake. He's in charge of the mission, essentially.
Mm-hmm. And in charge of every bit of the. He runs every part of the ship.
Yeah.
He like everyone's life. He's keeping the people in the pods alive. He's keeping the lights on. He's keeping the oxygen, and he's charting the course. All of it, or keeping them on course. Oh, thank you for the follow. Someone. Is Hal another tool weapon along the lines of the bone and nuclear weapons? Sure, absolutely. I mean, absolutely. Yeah. It's
the next step.
Yeah, and it's essentially. Hold on.
Which is why this movie just remains so relevant, because I mean, when you watch those videos,
Bastel, thank you for the follow. Yeah,
like those robots, like those really large robots that are jumping over boxes and stuff. Have you seen those?
Yes, absolutely.
Freaking terrifying.
Yeah. Well, and I was actually just talking. This is how relevant 2001 is. I was talking just today. I was on a set and we were just talking about like AI just came up. Just in general, and they were talking about this, and they're talking about how they have that I don't know what they have a robot who like looks like a human. And she has addressed the United Nations, and she actually has a post at the United Nations. She's part of the United Nations.
Oh, I don't know.
Isn't that horrifying?
That's weird.
That's really crazy.
Like, why?
Yeah. No, she's
It's just a novelty.
I don't know.
Because it's still a pretty primitive robot, all things considered.
No, it's kind of like a really. Well, I don't know. I haven't really watched enough about it. I've seen like 2-second clips, but it seems like a really dressed up version of like a Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, I mean that's
stupid. But unless she is, she can hear us right now, obviously, because they're all connected. all of those robots, see, that's now the robot prejudice begins.
And I'm gonna be right at the front lines.
Rock
of that.
Rock and roll.
Human blood.
Oh man. Good morning, Dave. I love I just love Keir Delay in this movie. I just like he's like, oh hey Hal.
Now
Like,
you
I just
keep
love
saying him like you know him from other things.
I mainly know him from this.
Is he in? Because I don't know him from anything else.
I know.
What's his name?
Keir Delay is how I understand his name to
like,
be.
Like the pigs. What are the pigs called?
Tapirs.
Tapirs.
All right, man. Yeah.
I'm bringing it all in.
Keir Delay.
You guys know about the paradox that dooms you all to an AI-controlled hell if you understand the paradox? Expand.
No, but maybe don't. Maybe don't tell me, because then I don't want to know it, right? Or else.
I know him from, and also 2000.
Oh, 2010. Yeah.
Oh,
he's in
yeah.
2010. There's the T1000 and the HAL 9000. What do you mean? Oh, conspiracy hype, Terminator. Oh, yeah, of course. Tall, slim, remote, and boyishly handsome. One of Keir Delay's most arresting features is his pale blue eyes, which featured a number of watershed films. All right.
That's how you know a guy hasn't been in too many things.
When they talk about he's in The Good Shepherd. Wow. He's in the recent Fahrenheit 451. He's in the... I don't know.
Carved out a nice little career for him, though.
I mean, he's been working, which is good.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
He's very good, though.
Yeah, I think he's great. And it's kind of like... I don't know, it's weird. Sometimes you see that and you go like, I don't understand. He's Audrey Hepburn's father in the Audrey Hepburn story. I'm assuming it's his father. Audrey Hepburn story starring Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Oh, my favorite? Let me see.
Are you a Jennifer Love? Did you have a thing for Jennifer Love Hewitt? I did too.
Yeah.
So much so that when I don't know, my brother's still here. One Christmas, my brother bought me like a Jennifer Love Hewitt like fan magazine or something, and I was like, oh, I'm embarrassed. What do you got?
Like a Tiger Beat?
I don't even know. Yeah,
for
but it was like
dudes?
check her. Yeah, like my mom and you
I
like her a lot, and I was like, stop it. This is really embarrassing.
They had like a poster of her that came with like a Rolling Stone that she was on the cover of, and it was like a really sensual black and white one.
What do you mean?
And and my brother and I argued over who got to put it on their wall. And he won because he was a teenager.
No,
I was young.
Yeah. Go ahead, Frump. Please, do it. I like when Hal stumps Dave at chess, and Dave is totally chill and says, "Hey, thanks for the game, Hal. Good dude." Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Although I think that was Lockwood. I think it's the other dude, right? I think it was. I didn't think it was, but maybe. Starting the burning of gases at the core, the burning light but I love that scene as well. Yeah, and he just goes, and then Hal's like, "Thank you for an enjoyable game," and you go, "All right, you condescending."
But I like.
No, he's great.
Just again, it's all about this mundane behavior in these extraordinary times.
Yeah.
And he downplays it with all like the birthday thing where he's just.
Oh, I love that, man.
I don't love know how that scene.
I do too. I don't know how they got the performance out of that girl. It must have been like a real phone call. I almost think it's Kubrick's daughter.
It is.
Okay, that's what it is then.
You're talking about the one at the beginning?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
With when he's in the
he
bell.
does the video call.
Yeah.
That's
Kubrick's daughter.
Because she had like this slightly British accent, and I know that he raised them in London, and I was like, I think that's her.
Tell mommy that I phoned.
Yeah. And she's like, you're in the other room. I don't understand. Is this like a movie club? Do we have to see a movie each week? Yes. Oh, yeah. Is this your first? Yeah. This is Filmography. We're watching a movie every week. For this month, oh, yeah, I should have said this at the beginning. When I'm so terrible at accepting raids because I just don't tell anyone about anything. Guys, welcome to the channel. My name is lobrocop. This is Jeff Ray. I didn't mean to get hold on. You're dead. I play games most of the time, and then on Sundays we get to do this wonderful thing that I love, and it is Filmography, where we talk. We were gonna do war games. I thought about war games as well. Yep, first time Filmography. Well, welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. This is called Filmography. We take a movie a week every Sunday. We watch it and then we talk about it on Sunday. The month of January is AI computers. AI, we're calling it user unfriendly. I don't mean to saddle you with that. I came up.
I just show up and do my thing.
So we're talking about the interaction between humans and AI computers. We will then later be doing AI robots, man or machine, essentially. And then we're going to have to do part 2s of each of those things because there are so many movies that deal with both of those things.
And that's when when we do robots, we'll be getting into our Terminators and whatnot.
I really want to talk to you because we were talking about what to do in March. And I kind of want to do AI.
Okay.
I mean, like the movie.
Well, I think we're going to have to.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Like, to me, it's interesting to do it in kind of close proximity to this, knowing that was like a thing that he was going to do, and then Spielberg ended up doing. You know, it's interesting. I don't know, but we'll talk about that. Hola, monito pensante. Thank you. What's up, man? How you doing? You're right. It was Frank who played chess. It's been a while since. Yeah. I mean, not a big deal, but yes, no, I love that scene. And he's like, Hal just like whips him, and he takes it pretty well.
Yeah.
He's just like, all right, yeah, okay, cool. The animated film, I thought about that. Yeah, but I mean, there's so much. When you get into robots, there's a lot with computers. There's a whole heck of a lot with robots. You got literally iRobot. You got robots. You got Blade Runner. You got Terminator.
That's why we had to separate them out.
Yeah, because it was like, oh man, yeah. Ex Machina. We're definitely gonna do that. Anyway. So they're on this thing. They're going. And then out of all of a sudden, first Hal has this interesting moment. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, go ahead.
Well, where he kind of goes like, I was wondering, Dave, it's sort of a strange mission. I have misgivings about it, sort of. And he's like, well, why do you say that, Hal? And they're talking and blah blah blah. And he's kind of like, oh, it's kind of weird. They're very secretive. And there's an interesting line where he goes, surely no one could have ignored the rumors floating around. And I was like, someone was gossiping with Hal? Someone was just kind of like coming by the water cooler and being like, hey, Hal, you know what I mean?
Probably.
Yeah, or he can read lips, as we found.
Or he's like installed in like the stations or, yeah.
Definitely. Even Morgan? Wait. Even Morgan? Input. Oh, short circuit. Hal's been reading the National Enquirer. Yeah. But yeah, and then all of a sudden, in the middle of this conversation, he goes, wait a minute, or whatever. Hold on, and he says that there's a piece of equipment that's malfunctioning, and they have to go out and get it. And there's this kind of extended thing. They open the pod, Hal, and they go out, pick it up, bring it in, test it. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh.
And he said it failed, and it didn't.
Yeah, or it was like in the process of failing.
Yeah.
In 72 hours, it'd be 100%.
Yeah.
And
they looked at it, and it looked A-okay.
Nothing wrong with it.
And so this infallible machine that is supposed to has never made a mistake and is not supposed to make any mistakes has made a mistake.
And again,
he's in control of this entire ship.
And their life support systems.
And this entire mission.
Everything. Yeah, exactly. And they're like, wait a second.
That's not great.
And by the way, I love it. It's kind of like...
I love how they handle the situation, too. Because they handle it like pros. They're not emotional about it.
Yeah.
Which almost in that sense is a very human... Like, I don't know, like I just in that moment I was like, yeah, they're really good at their jobs.
Yeah. And someone made the observation that like, I don't know, but that the astronauts in the way that they are very mechanical, they're almost more so than Hal is.
Well, I agree with that
because Hal has like self-doubt, and Hal has.
That's why I think he showed the birthday and things like that, because the reactions that they have, like to the chess games and all these things, it's showing how they aren't reacting a lot. Yeah. But what I liked was the contrast of like in moments of crisis how they handled it.
Yeah.
Very coolly.
Absolutely. And I mean they would
but
have
yeah,
to because they're astronauts. I feel like that is very accurate. I think it's part of grounding it as well. I don't know. Yeah.
But I thought it was I think that was very intentional for him to have them have a significant lack of emotion.
Absolutely.
Because the most emotional character on that ship is the robot.
Is Hal, yeah. Which is interesting. Hold on a second.
Because what's fascinating about this is when you really start to think about what that means, and then the actions that Hal starts to take after that to save his own hide, like he's acting in the most human way possible. Like he's got jealousy and paranoia. He's reading lips and he's trying to save his own skin.
Yeah.
He's not even trying to save the mission. He's trying to his ego. his robotic ego is in the way.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't really. That's
Well, I think
interesting.
it's all of it.
Huh.
Because he's like, I can't make a mistake. It has to be you guys because it has to be human error, and I'm the HAL 9000. I don't make errors.
Yeah.
And so he can't even fathom. So it's a form of ego. Yeah.
And do you think it was well, certainly I think at least in the respect that that he's acting out of self-preservation. Like he's like, they're going to disconnect me, and then he like, because then it's kind of you go like oh, crazy, yeah, those two guys are going to disconnect you. So he sends what's his face goes out to because sorry, what happens is they go like, look, there's nothing wrong with this thing. They talk to base and home base or whatever, and they're like, yeah, we agree. Hal does seem to be malfunctioning. That's weird. We'll get it all straightened out. And they go and talk, and they go into this pod and they turn off all the stuff and they test to make sure Hal can't hear them. And there's this great scene where they're talking, and those performances are great, but also very subdued.
Yeah.
And they're talking about what to do, and they go, yeah, I just think he made a mistake, and we're now I'm concerned. He's like, yeah, I'm concerned too. I think what we need to do is go and unplug his higher brain functions and see how much of it we can disconnect, and then we'll run it manually and see what are the logistics of that. And he's like, it'll be tough to do because he knows everything. He's like, yeah, but I don't think we have a choice. I mean, it cuts to this just great and they're talking. It's not like that.
That looked like you were eating a sandwich.
Eating a Subway sandwich. It's like a cold cut trio. You say the AI thingy. That knowing about yeah, please do it. Yes, do that. Sorry, Frump. I was just joking. But and then we have the intermission, and then we come back, and then what's his face? Frank has to go out and put the thing back on, and then Hal makes it's very sinister. You're kind of like,
it's
oh man,
super creepy.
You're like, oh, he's gonna do something kind of subtle and wait for him, and then the robot just goes, the pod is whatever. And then I assume just runs into him or clips his line and throws it. I mean, because you see it do that.
Yeah, he just runs into him and knocks him
just
out into the atmosphere.
Hurtling into space. And then Kirtale is like, oh, what happened? And he went. And then while what's Kirtale's? I don't know. I can't remember his Dave, obviously. While Dave is going to kind of figure out what happened, Hal goes, cool. Those guys are going to kill you. You're like, yeah, I get it, man. Get rid of those dudes who are going to kill you. And then Hal goes, these are humans too. Dead. He just cuts the power on their cryo chambers or whatever, and it's like, yikes. You go, whoa, kind of an overreaction. It's like an emotional overreaction where Hal is like, he freaks out. So the paradox doomed to hell thing, it's called Rocco's basilisk. It basically says that in a far future in which AI exists, it will be sufficiently advanced to know that a human far into the past had the choice to help the AI come into being but chose not to. And if it has all the brain info about those humans in a far advanced enough future, then it can recreate your conscience in a void and torture you forever as punishment for not helping it when you had the choice. But that's a pretty emotional thing to do for AI, but maybe.
Vengeance.
It's all improbable, but not impossible. And if it's possible, then knowing about it and deciding not to make that AI a reality right now is dooming your conscience to eternal torture at the hands of that AI. So I feel like what will save me from that is that the AI will maybe look back into the past and go who had the knowledge and skill to bring this AI into being? And then it'll be
this guy.
Not this dude who dies at Dark Souls and gets mad and doesn't change his shirt frequently enough. That guy,
they're gonna be
he's harmless.
They're gonna be "Lo, bro, we saw you spill that water."
Yeah. I go, no, I'm just klutzy. Yeah. Yeah. They both went. Yeah. I feel like he's not gonna come for me, because I can't get my PlayStation to work, and I couldn't get the.
He's like, because you haven't been taking care of it. It's dusty. Time to dust you. Low, bro.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll be look like the old Brenner. That's another one I want to do. Is Westworld.
Oh yeah, old school
the
Westworld.
OG Michael Crichton Westworld. It all started when a guy in an AI discussion forum told this idea. No. Oh. Okay. Well, but wait, is that guy the AI then? Anyway, so and the big boss chief of the board freaked out and told him to shut up. This sounds crazy. That he had just doomed them all. I see. Because now they knew about it, and knowing about it is what. Isn't there something about how losing it being a type of cognitive dissonance between his programming to always share correct information and his orders to keep the true nature of the mission secret? Oh, that's very interesting. I mean, there's tons of stuff that like, and it impresses me, but also I'm kind of like that thing about the thing being a bomb, the thing being a nuclear weapon.
Mm-hmm.
That like they don't even.
You would.
There's
know
no
that.
way you would know that.
You could know that.
So very, very possibly that's the explanation, but they just don't ever refer to it, which is interesting because they do a little bit of.
Wait, what is
He's saying
suggesting?
that theoretically, I don't know if you're saying that this is somehow like canon or whatever, or like it's part of what was explained, or maybe it's in the book. There are lots of things that may be in the book, the Arthur C. Clarke book. He's saying that like. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's saying is that the error in how was created because he was supposed to keep the mission a secret, but he was also had this other directive built into him that he always had to share correct information. So it kind of caused like a split that caused him to.
I always wondered that when they power down
Logic trap. Yeah, there you go.
They power down Hal at the end, and he starts singing Daisy, and then they take out all his brain cells or whatever. Then that video comes on.
Yeah.
Like inside the brain of Hal.
Yeah.
Meaning that needed to happen.
Yeah, I don't know.
In order for that message to come on.
That's
how it felt. And I was like, so, because then it kind of plays into that in the sense, maybe not exactly what he's saying, but it is like, oh, was that supposed to happen so that they would take that action? And it's only, but then that doesn't make sense.
I don't
Why
think it
kill
does.
all your
I
crew
think,
members?
I think that now in a different way, I had that thought relative to the end of the film, which we can talk about later. But like in the sense, in sort of a more cosmic sense. But I'll table that for a second. But
I don't know what that means.
I know. Well, but I don't know. I kind of took it as like, it something about how, because Hal started playing random stuff anyway. Like as he was dying, he was like, "Hello." He almost like restarted a little bit.
Yeah, well, I think
like,
that the Daisy thing was the first thing that he learned, like a song,
right.
Show,
he was like, "Hello, I'm Hal. I'm this and this." And it's like he was, and so like maybe that was like a thing that was implanted into him early or something. I don't know.
I felt like that was like the first thing.
Yeah. It's almost like, well, I mean, the video of that as well. Like, I kind of like the more we talk about it, I'm kind of like, is it akin to like the T-1000 dying and just turning into all the things that it, you know what I mean? Like, it's like malfunctioning and just kind of shooting through, out. Yeah, like I don't know because it didn't play a whole bunch of stuff in addition. to that.
It came on like right after he died. Yeah.
It does seem like, so you've destroyed your HAL 9000 because he's trying to destroy you. But aboard the Discovery, Chandra discovers the reason for Hal's malfunction. This is from the book. The National Security Council had ordered Hal to conceal from the Discovery's crew the fact that the mission was about the monolith. This conflicted with Hal's basic program of open, accurate processing of information. Well, great. This is there you go. Causing him to suffer the computer equivalent of a paranoid mental breakdown. Although the order bears his signature, Floyd angrily denies any knowledge. So this is from the book. It's impressive. It's impressive this movie is still so talked about. Absolutely. This movie is, I think it will never be dated. And we talk about movies like Jurassic Park will never be dated. Terminator 2 will never be dated. 2001 will literally never be dated. No. I don't think. I think it's just, it is.
Mainly because its ideas are so timeless and on top of its execution.
And part of it, I think, is that it's somewhat inaccessible in some ways.
Yeah.
Like not inaccessible, but like vague purposefully.
Yes. Purposefully ambiguous.
But with enough, and that's the key to movies like this. Sometimes you see a movie where you're like, you didn't tell me enough, and I don't care enough.
Yes.
And screw off. It's when a movie has enough, not moral integrity, but enough integrity and sure-handedness to kind of be like.
It's that confidence thing.
It's exactly right. It's the difference between like I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but I'm confident that the movie knows what's going on.
Yeah.
And I really need to pay attention if I'm going to figure it out, which I want to, and I don't know if it's going to tell me, and I leave it to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As opposed to like,
You don't know what you're doing,
Yeah, exactly.
and you don't know what you're trying to say, so you're trying to hide behind your art, which is what I felt a lot of Alphaville was.
just for the
You
rest
guys
of
know that
every
Alphaville
shot.
is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
Ow! Have finished 2001, so the guy becomes a giant baby. Yeah, fair point. There we go. Good night, everybody. That's absolutely true. I'm not sure how much they explored in the novels. They do a pretty brief job. Oh, so you're saying that's from 2010, which I've never seen.
Oh, okay.
A lot of sci-fi uses logical paradoxes against AIs. I.e., this statement is false. And poetry.
Poetry, yeah.
Does a set of all sets contain a set? Which I think is like a legitimate and kind of like on it, like maybe a little cheesy, but kind of beautiful and in a French New Wave way, like a kind of the perfect way to end a French New Wave AI terror
Certainly.
film. But it just falls apart because he quotes poetry the whole time. I don't know why.
It's a nice idea.
It is. I mean, it's fun. Yeah, a lot of sci-fi. Like, yeah. I mean, this is how it's presented in the movie, but it's similar in the book as far.
Now,
as
I heard the book actually provides a lot of way more definite answers, real-world answers for a lot of these things that are just posited and then never answered in the film. And it kind of makes me think that I probably wouldn't enjoy the book as much. Because, I mean, half what you're saying is so true. Half the appeal of this movie is part of just the certain open-endedness that starts to happen a lot towards the end, but throughout the whole film.
And to the extent that he... And it is, exactly, it is...
It's what gives it that timeless thing.
In one sense, it is the open-endedness of that where they don't explain really what's happening at the end. But it also is this sort of like... And it's a skill. It is filmmaking. It is storytelling. A lot is withheld in terms of information, or a lot is just kind of like... It's subtle. It's in some ways it's weird to call this subtle filmmaking because it's so bold and striking and visually arresting, and in some cases they do a thing for a long time and you're like and you know you could be forgiven for being like I get it, but in the other sense it
you know what's interesting is it can't hide what I think makes it so timeless and what makes it feel so confident is because it had to have been thought out in terms of it can't hide behind language.
Right.
It has to use its visuals to communicate almost 90% of its main story and thematic ideas. And so to do that, like there are no wasted shots in this entire film.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, even when it goes for the prolonged, beyond the infinite psychedelic journey that you're going on, by that point, it's more of an experience. But everything leading up to that moment, every shot is telling you something very specific and conveying a very specific idea.
Yeah.
And I feel like with a lot of films, you can hide behind dialogue. Like, Alphaville is just so guilty of that, of just hiding behind a lot of... high-minded, dialogue that is supposed to convey certain things, and I guess on paper like it does.
Yeah.
That, but does
you have to be. Yeah.
But are you communicating your idea effectively?
And I think it's a style that it chooses to go with, and you kind of either to me you have to kind of be like, all right, I'm on board, or I'm not, and like.
That one in particular, it just felt like it was telling me all its
Sure.
themes and ideas by having characters basically talk to the camera.
What is interesting though is I think of like, and I'm saying these things where I'm like, oh man, it doesn't give you a lot of information, it doesn't whatever, but at the same time, like up until that ending, even though there are prolonged gorgeous shots and stuff, it doesn't use a lot of exposition because it doesn't need a lot of exposition. It does a lot of showing instead of telling. But there are definite exposition dumps. Like he gets to the space
meeting.
station.
Oh yeah.
He gets but even before that, he gets to the space station. And they go, "Oh, come sit down.
With the Russians,
tell us everything." And he goes,
Yeah.
"Well, but it's strange. I've heard that there's an outbreak, and it's played very well, and it's good actors, and everything's so stunning that it's great. But it's an exposition dump." And he goes to a meeting where we literally sit in a meeting and get briefed on what's going on.
Yeah, it's a briefing.
And then when they show us they show us Dave and Frank, we're introduced to them where they sit down and watch a newscast about what they're doing and what everything. So there are exposition dumps, but they're done in semi-interesting ways. I mean, really
but even those I feel like are comments.
They're well acted and they're
comments
well written
about.
I don't mind them at all.
Nor do I. What am I trying to say
exposition.
here? I guess it's trying to set the stage so that the visuals can convey the thematic ideas and then because like they don't talk about creatures or aliens or spaceships or anything like that,
right.
I don't know. I'm losing myself in this because this is what happens when you start getting towards the end of this movie and you start to try to verbalize it and you're like, I don't know.
But part of it, I think, something that works with it is that everything is so stunning and the situation is so stunning that and the art design and everything is so stunning. The acting's good and the writing is good, and well written exposition is not bothersome. The other thing is
it's done very well. I agree with you completely about all of it too.
The other thing is it's the first speaking we've had in the movie.
You're
so we're
almost
kind
grateful.
of starved for information. We're
Yeah.
like, all right, cool. There's some humans here. They're gonna speak English to each other.
Yeah. What's going on? Because I just saw some apes for about 20
Yeah.
minutes do some stuff, and then we were out here in the space station. I don't know what is going on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the movie goes, oh, we just jumped 18 months. And then we go like, oh, okay. And then it goes, here's what's going on. And I go, thank you.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's great.
Yeah.
It's cool that I...
It's actually a really interesting way of like, how do I make a movie that has almost zero dialogue, provided at the beginning of each section to just lay the groundwork, and that way you'll feel comfortable, and then you can go with the rest of it.
I mean, it has title cards for crying out loud.
Yeah.
In some, like, it goes, the dawn of man. And you go, okay, we're at the dawn of man. And, like, it's interesting, because it's funny, Emelak, you're saying very similar to the storytelling in Bloodborne and Souls, and I know we had that conversation about that, but I would push back, and I know you're kind of joking, but Bloodborne and Souls is like, you can fight through it, there's no, you might get some whatever here and there. The first, not even the first, like 90% of that film, 95% of that film is very narratively clear. Like, I mean, in the sense
of which
of 2001, it's like,
oh yeah.
Like, I'm not like, it shows me monkeys and stuff, but I understand what's happening.
Absolutely.
And then it goes the moon, and I understand what's happening.
Yeah.
And it's very narratively like clear and specific, and it's like, this is what's happening. There's a monolith that's like, whatever, I don't know what's happening there, but that's meant to be that way.
Yeah.
And then we get to the only part that kind of veers off into like, whoa, is the end, right? Where he leaves this sort of...
But even then, it's... Because you see the monolith appear between the planets.
Right.
As he's starting to cross Jupiter and all that. And then once he starts to go into the infinite or beyond the infinite, you realize that he's, based off what you've seen already, that, okay, he's taking the next evolutionary step. Now you can start debating what that's going to be and what everything that happens after it, what that is. But it's based off everything that's led up to this point, he's taking the next evolutionary step, which to me explains what Big Baby is at the end.
Oh yes, and I mean, and that's like now.
But everything that happens in between there, I think, is very much open to interpretation, intentionally so, and it can be any number of things.
And I like I posted a tweet and we were like, we're going live with 2001, can't wait. And then I posted a screenshot of like a Google field where I was like, end of 2001, which like was a joke, but also not a joke because
oh yeah,
it's like that, and
I've read up on it.
I think I had watched I had watched this movie at least twice, but it had been a long time, and I was kind of like, and I had read previously, what the like whatever but it tells you in the movie that it's an alien intelligence or whatever, and you kind of go like, okay, you start to go like, oh, they're advancing, oh, okay, whatever. And then right before I pressed enter to be like, I gotta like know what at least the prevailing ideas are before I took a moment and I was like, no, wait a second, let me just think about it. And I go, okay, well, okay, so it's the next, and you kind of come to that.
Yeah.
But it's not.
That's all I could get to.
Yeah.
It's then I had to do some research.
Yeah.
What I like the theory of is, and it kind of falls in line with AI, artificial intelligence, the Spielberg, Kubrick.
Which I have not seen.
Haven't.
No, that's why I want to see it so much.
Then I can't say what I was about to say.
Okay.
I don't know how to talk now.
I'm sorry.
Should
I leave?
No, I just...
Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer too. I'm half crazy, all for the love of you.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I'm just going to... No, never mind. So, okay, so this will be fine. But...
You can say it.
I guess I'm gonna have to if we're gonna talk.
Is
about
it gonna
this.
ruin? Is it gonna spoil the thing?
No, not really.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
But I can't like this is. I feel like this is a deep conversation about what the aliens are. Because they could be artificial intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard that theory?
No, that the aliens themselves are
That the AI and HAL is the
kind of like-
is like the seedling for perfect AI, and then some. It's kind of like Interstellar almost. Like it's us communicating back, but in this sense, it's AI that has evolved to a point of energy,
Sentience.
like
Yeah.
like sentience, and then
Sentient,
beyond that, and then beyond that, and then
Sure.
beyond that, to the point that they're not even physical entities anymore.
And I had read up.
This is what
the
Kubrick-
pure energy thing.
the pure energy thing. This is what Kubrick was
Right,
all
right,
talking
right.
about. And so he was like, the room is like a zoo where they're essentially time passes the way it passes in the film, where he has dinner and then he looks over and all of a sudden he's aged 40 years. And then he looks over and he's aged another 25 years and then he's dead. And it happens all within an instant, but like a lifetime has passed before him.
Yeah.
Like instantly, because then time is malleable. And
Right.
blah,
You
blah,
read
blah, blah.
yeah, exactly. Let me catch up on a little bit of this stuff. 2010, Their Year We Made Contact is the movie. 2010, Odyssey 2 is the book. Really? Year We Made Contact is not the name of the book. Interesting. I always knew The Year We Made Contact as the subtitle. Looks are pretty cool, very leaning toward hard sci-fi and clarity. I really enjoyed them, but yeah, they may appeal less to people who like the weightlessness of conclusions in 2001. Isn't it? Well, I mean, hey, I'd like some concrete stuff too. This is so bad for only watching anime right now. That happens a lot in music too. This is referring to
Right.
Oh yeah. Well, no, watch anime. We'll watch a little bit of anime at some point. I mean, I have no anime.
I'm not cultured in anime whatsoever, but
we're gonna
the
pepper
things
some
I've
in.
seen, I really enjoyed.
Paprika?
Never saw that.
I don't know what I'm.
Grave of the Fireflies was great. Ghost in the Shell.
My
was
Neighbor
cool.
Totoro?
But the coolest one was Ninja
Scroll.
Scroll.
Yeah.
Ninja Scroll was badass.
Digimon! It's annoying when you're trying to find the author's intent to dig deep and find a bucket of nonsense without laughing in the distance. Sure.
Yeah.
Why do they keep him in their room? Observation, why was it jumping through time, or did he actually live there for decades? Yeah, and I think both, and yes. And that observation thing is something that that did not occur to me, and then I read up on it and was like, oh, and Kubrick, like, not even...
Well,
I
so
would
let's
say
talk
so.
about the room for a second.
So yeah, so sorry. So real quick, let's finish up because Hal's gonna kill him.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Sorry. Hal's gonna kill him. He goes and Keir Delay goes. I mean, Dave goes out to pick up the floating astronaut, picks him up, holds him, cradles him like a baby, comes back in toward the thing into the ship. Meanwhile, Hal has killed all the rest of the remaining crew, and he's like. Hal, open the pod bay doors. Open the pod bay doors, Hal. And he's like, Hal. He didn't answer for a long time, and then he just goes, I'm sorry, Dave. And then he's like, I can't do that.
It's really chilly.
It's great. And he's like, well, please do. And he's like, I'm just not going to. And there's no point in this conversation anymore. Bye, Felicia. And just
he says that.
Yeah, it's crazy. So Kubrick, he presaged so much.
He had his finger. Pulse.
A button.
Boom.
Yeah. Te recomiendo Cowboy Bebop. I've had that recommended as well. Hal is ice cold. What's colder than cold? What's colder than cold? Hal. It really doesn't seem complicated to me just having watched it the first time. Some aliens give a bunch of chimps a monolith as a gift. Their brains get supercharged. Modern human travels and finds another monolith. Now he has a galaxy brain. Yeah. Well, I mean, some people are just geniuses, Juice Rock. And you were one of them. No, yeah, you're right. I mean,
Galaxy
that's it.
Brain. That's a great name for a band.
Yeah.
We're Galaxy Brain.
Neon Genesis Evangelion. I also hear it's pronounced Evangelion. It gets the same vibes as 2001. Interesting. Te lo mejor en tu canal. Muchas gracias, monito. Ya te vas. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, my friend. Lots of love. So then he goes and he's like, he blasts himself in with some airlock trickery. Mm-hmm. And Hal's like, you're not going to get in without a space helmet, Dave. And Dave goes, watch me, bitch.
Yeah.
And he's like, practical effects, and gets himself in. And then he goes and like very matter of factly just kind of goes in and disconnects Hal, and what a great sequence that is.
It's great. Just to watch him walk up and everything, and then he takes them all. Oh, yeah.
So impressed by all the mechanisms they came up with. It's just the things where he goes...
And the symmetry of all of it. And
Dave.
Just like, the production design is...
Stop.
Yeah.
Dave, stop.
My mind is going, Dave.
I'm afraid. I'm
My
afraid,
mind is
Dave.
going.
It's crazy. He's like, well, you should have thought about that before I don't. Yeah. Was Dave's triumph over the AI, the trigger for the aliens being like, dang, when you... Maybe. So here we go. So then he kills Hal.
You have chosen wisely.
Yeah. Dave disconnects Hal. The video pops up and goes, now we can tell you the whole thing now that all the crew's with you, because they're fine,
And
right?
it's another
They're fine,
expedition,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, it is. And it goes, this is, we were heading out. We found a monolith. It was aliens. What? The aliens, then the monolith made contact with Jupiter, which was the ding. So we sent you guys en route to Jupiter, and that's where you're going. Good luck. And and then he's like, cool, just me now. And then he goes to Jupiter, goes through to get more stupider, I believe is why he goes to Jupiter. Have you heard this? Oh, girls go to college to get more knowledge. Boys go to Jupiter to get more stupider.
That's amazing.
Did you know that?
I didn't know that. Where did you hear that?
That is a biological fact, my friend. Along with the frogs and snails and puppy dog tails that used to hurt my feelings.
What age range were you in when that was popular?
I think it was after my time.
What did you say back? Okay. Okay.
I did not hear that until I was older, and then realized that people said that. Was that in the Ghost Dad novelization? Dang! Boys go to Mars to get more candy bars. Oh, dang! All right, but I used to legitimately like get my feelings hurt when they'd be like, girls are made of sugar and spice and everything nice. Everything. They've got a monopoly on everything nice. Everything. And boys are made of frogs and snails and puppy dog tails.
Did someone say that to you?
Have you never heard that?
No.
Oh, really?
People were nice to me.
Oh, that explains a lot. What's it like?
Look, somebody's got to do the bullying, you know what I'm saying?
I guess. Someone's got to take it.
I was telling people they were sugar and spice for years.
Hey.
What's the phrase?
Hey, sugar. You're spice.
Girls are sugar and spice.
What are girls made of?
Nice.
Sugar and spice and everything nice. What are boys made of? Frogs and snails and puppy dog tails.
What year did you, like, were you in a 1920s
I think I may have had it.
Film noir? Like, now girls are sugar and spice and everything nice.
Now look here, sonny. You're a pile of shit.
Girls are toady woadies and,
She walked into my office. My first grade classroom. All sugar and spice. Most things nice. Oh, nope. All of it. There it is.
Suck down my apple juice.
And Chemical X. Snips and snails. And what are snips? So you've heard it too, Ken Coldblood. I think it was in like my baby book or something. That my mom got me a baby book and it was in there. And I just was like, why do I have to be...
You know what I would say to anyone who said that to me? I'd be like, did you read that out of a baby book?
Yeah.
You big baby? Reading out of a baby book?
If only you'd been there. You
Nobody touched me, all right?
You had internal strength from being treated like a human. And I, just occasionally heard a rhyme that was offensive.
I just stayed quiet. I stayed out of the way. It's just like...
You're that kid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had the shiv. Ready?
Well, what?
What?
Yeah. Yeah, that's me. I gotta go.
This is the Power 4 girls were born. Oh. I heard that too growing up. My mother said sugar and spice and everything nice. Yeah. And frogs and snails and puppy dog tails. Now, of course, I guess I'm making a judgment on frogs and snails and puppy dog tails.
I don't know any of these riddles. I don't think I grew up with any riddles.
Hold on. Now, when a mockingbird comes tooting to your door, you call up the New York Yankees, I say, and President Churchill...
Call up the New York Yankees. Down.
President Churchill will come down from the Eiffel Tower and... Yeah, okay, so in the 20s they didn't know anything. I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah. He goes to Jupiter. That's how this started.
Yeah.
To get more stupider. He goes to Jupiter and passes
Surge?
through a time...
Sorry.
Surge?
Did you know about the
drink?
Surge urban legend?
No.
That's the only thing I knew about. Sorry, I totally derailed that.
No. What is the...
When I was growing
President
up...
Churchill. Yeah.
Surge,
Read a book, Shotty.
The cola surge was a big deal and remember it was like a replacement for Mountain Dew. Do you remember Surge?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
And then the kids at our school and other schools around the district all stopped drinking it in unison because we heard that that yellow, the ingredient yellow number 5, which is in everything.
Yeah,
in everything, not just sodas, makes your penis small.
Yeah, I think
and so we.
I thought I heard about Mountain Dew.
Oh,
which
really?
I would believe about
that's
Mountain Dew
interesting.
because it's like antifreeze.
I think I heard about Crystal Pepsi too, which was
Man.
a big bummer. It was because it was a big bummer.
RC Cola started all these rumors. They're like, yeah.
And I remember getting
makes your balls
freaked
fall
out because I loved Crystal Pepsi and being like, I drank a lot of that stuff.
Crystal Pepsi is cool. The Surge Urban Legends. The Surge would one day be a good video game, but it's just a legend. Oh, got him. Surge makes your pee-pee small. Remember 7-Up Gold? No. Does it look like urine? Is it like Canada Dry? Canada Dry is it just like ginger
7-Up
ale?
Gold. That sounds delicious. I want some of that now.
Gold sounds good. Drank a lot of Crystal Pepsi. Let me tell you, my penis has never been smaller. Crystal Pepsi, make your dong small.
God, they re-released Crystal Pepsi. I would drink Crystal Pepsi right now. It was so
I had
good.
it. We went to a
remember,
90s party.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we had a Crystal. I think I used to still have the bottle.
Sorry.
Anyway, they go to Jupiter.
So sorry.
He goes to
That was
Jupiter,
so not worth it.
passes through a time thing.
Put it on the background.
Time warp. Oh yeah, thank you. Like this.
Boom!
Minus the Star Wars wipe. And he's like, and then it's like, and it goes on for about 15 to 25 minutes.
It does not. It goes on for like 7 minutes, but it does feel like it's 20 minutes.
I was trying, and it is great because it's great, wonderful effects and just really sweet.
It's that thing where
drops of Jupiter in her hair. Yeah, I saw that. Is it the party at Kitty and Studs? What's going on?
Why do you think he chose to? Because this is half of it.
Yeah.
This stuff, and then it cuts to
This is
just
so great.
Technicolor versions of like
This is great.
lakes and stuff, you know?
Yeah, like
and that's when I
like
start to lose
negative stuff. Like
interest.
his eye is negative, and then it goes to like. I think it might be cutting back to like. Is it recalling the dark colored caffeinated 7-Up? Oh yeah, that's 7-Up Gold's a better name than that. I don't know. I don't remember that. That's interesting. All the hippies went for repeat showings. Also, yeah, well, them jazz cigarettes. That's true. So like apparently,
Cigarettes.
like the and you may know this as well, but like they yeah. Okay. No, well, we both
please.
know. We both know.
Let's
Let's just sit here smugly.
smoking our jazz cigarettes.
Yeah. Well, so it wasn't doing well, and then MGM was going to pull it, and then the theaters called and said
that kids were smoking.
You say, hey, them dopey kids, those dope heads,
These
walk right by
long-haired-
President Churchill, I tells you. Drinking their Surge and their 7-Up Gold, and their penises are falling off. And they just love it, I tell you, they love it. Oh my goodness. Sorry, go ahead.
What I heard one anecdote that someone who was high, because they were smoking a lot of pot or doing acid or mushrooms or whatever, like people are using it to take an experience and then go watch this movie.
Yeah.
And one guy apparently during this sequence like was on acid and he tried to jump through the movie screen.
And they go, another one.
Yeah. We gotta put a pad back there.
Scoop shot. Hey,
And give him a medicine ball and
thank you for... Old Jack Abernathy's strong punch powder. That'll keep you from getting kicked sand on at the
we'll-
beach.
what are you lifting there? Some triangular weights?
Thank you so much for that freaking sub, old Prospector Willie. Thank you for the freaking Twitch Prime sub. No, thanks. If you keep coming back, I'll talk to you this way every single time, and that's a promise. That ain't no fool's gold. That ain't no calcopyrite. All right, what the?
We're gonna go pan for some of that 7-Up
Oh,
gold.
oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. We loved it. I don't know.
You should do all your reviews of movies in that voice.
Okay. Yeah, right. Oh, great Popeye.
Even better, you should do written reviews in that voice using that, and
Just
then
like-
just write it down.
Just parentheses. By the way, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
There's a link to at the bottom. Nailed it. Thanks, old prospector Willie, and thank you for subbing, especially from down in the mines where it is hard to get cell phone reception. I appreciate it. Like Film Crit Hulk, yeah, who reviews films as the Hulk.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Moody loves him.
Really?
Apparently, he's like a dude who actually works in Hollywood, but like won't tell his name, and then gave himself the alias Film Crit Hulk.
So you never see him on screen? He just does like a Hulk
Well,
voice?
it's written.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. We'll check him out.
And anyway, goes through space time. Blip.
And then
Freaks out. Ends
Yeah.
up in a room.
Ends up in a really cool looking room.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like a French Victorian museum.
It's like a Lady Gaga music video.
But yeah, it's very great. That's exactly what it is. That's 100% what it is. Yep.
Well, I think
I
think she even has a music video using that set.
Oh, that's why
Yeah,
that made.
yeah.
And the bottom is like a disco floor, but like they've all been flipped to white.
Yeah.
All the colored panels.
It's so cool
really
looking.
Cool. It's really crazy.
It's so cool looking.
It's so anachronistic and great.
You know what I love about Kubrick is that he insists on almost every movie including 2001 and on, to use practical lighting, or source lighting that you can see on camera, or that is motivated to have
Motivated diegetic lighting.
Yes, is that what it's called? Is that the full official term?
I mean,
motivated is it diegetic lighting a term?
Well, I don't know if
it's
diegetic sound. I'm just applying that. I think motivated lighting probably it's kind of redundant. But yeah, diegetic I think is from a source on screen. So
Oh, okay, cool.
that's what I think it means.
I thought yeah, cool. Anyways,
Okay,
he
Google.
does that a lot.
Tell me I'm right. Works usually.
I'm an android.
You need to expand your horizons and become a better person.
Is that an iPhone?
Okay, Google. It's a monolith. Diegetic definition. This is a Google Pixel 1. It's like 3 years old.
It looks really cool.
Thanks. Diegesis. Style of fiction storytelling presents an interior view of a world in which details about the world itself and the experiences of its character are revealed explicitly through narrative. The story is told or recounted as opposed to shown or enacted. That doesn't seem necessarily...
I always just called it practical lighting, and that's... I feel like that's what Crew uses a lot.
I know, because I know...
But you probably work with more crews than I do.
Do you think that's true?
I think that's absolutely true. Actors get to work
Oh, because you work
far
with the
more
same
crews,
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I never
You-
really think about that. That's interesting.
Oh, I'm very jealous of actors.
Yeah, 'cause
Because
you
you
get
guys
to-
get to absorb so much more than I get
Or
to.
sometimes, try to
So-
not absorb.
Yeah, right.
No, I'm just
That's
kidding.
very true.
No,
That's true.
that's not true. It's true. That's not true.
Yeah, Barry Lyndon. Perfect
Diegetic
example,
lighting
yeah.
is lighting that originates from the world of the story.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah,
he's
same.
all okay. So he's all about diegetic lighting.
Oh yeah, Barry Lyndon's just
But I just because I love that. I love that your light sources are actually on screen. I'm such a fan of that.
Yeah. It's interesting that's what the aliens think they would think was badass, at least comfortable. Of course, it's the greatest effect in Barry Lyndon. Yeah. Moon drunk monster, beautiful and strange, how your melancholy question. Tell me which you would dread more, the echo or the answer. Wow! Heck it!
Whoa.
What is that? That's fantastic. What is that? What the heck is that? It's beautiful poetry. Is that from Alphaville? Also, nice name. Nice name. I know it from Macbeth, but you were just about to say that. What the heck is that? Oh, is that from Barry Lyndon or something? You were just about to say that. Is that a joke? I don't know what's going on. Hey, Jacob. It's about werewolf. It's about a werewolf.
Moon drunk monster.
Beautiful and strange. How your melancholy question and tell me which you dread more, the echo or the answer.
That's great.
Thanks.
That's a great character.
Thanks. Do you think you could write something like this? Do you think you should put, hey, help.
Do that voice in Stallone.
Sanctuary. Oh, okay. Hello. I'm not doing.
You sound like you're powering down.
Now, it's about werewolf. What's my stream days? Friday, Saturday. No, sorry. Friday, Sunday, Monday. Did not get to do it Friday because I was on set until midnight. Woo! From 8 in the morning I
Damn.
think, till midnight.
Damn.
How is voiced by Stallone? Go.
Hey, Dave, look, man.
We kind of already did that.
I think we did, yeah.
Hey,
I can't do that, Dave.
I can't. Hey, you know, I
He
can't.
sounds mopey.
Yeah, I can't do that. You know, I can't do it. You know,
All right, now say, I am the law.
I am the law.
But you gotta say it. He doesn't.
I am the law.
One more time.
I am the law.
Yeah, there you go.
Thanks.
That's the best scene in that movie. You just did it.
Yeah, thank you. Sing Daisy doing that.
Daisy. Hey, you know, I got this turtle, you know, Paul, Paulie doesn't, you know, hey, what are you gonna do?
Found on white people Twitter. Uh-oh. But what was the question? I just wanted more. I see. What am I doing? Why am I clicking on this? Why am I clicking on something called white people Twitter? I feel like that's not a good idea. Throw it back to that time I composed a magnet poem about werewolves, and it was the deepest. Oh. For serious?
I love it.
That's where it comes from?
That's great.
We need a Michael Caine impression. Is that all right? So,
Now, when you blink,
what? Oh, are you talking about that acting video?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. that's
what
great.
does he say?
I don't
Because he
remember. I
keeps
don't think I've ever seen it.
And when you blink,
Yeah. So, yeah, why do we fall, Mr. Bruce? I don't know.
and I couldn't protect you.
Yeah. He goes, I told your father.
He was a blubbering idiot in Dark Knight Rises.
I
I'm
would-
sorry.
He's great.
I know you loved him. I know you loved that movie, but he was blubbering the whole time.
Yeah, but he's great. And he's great in that movie. And he's great. And
He is great, and he's great in that role.
Michael Caine is fantastic. Michael Caine. So,
Michael Caine,
so.
Jaws, 2,
Wait.
3.
Have you seen?
Four?
Surely you've seen Steve Coogan and Rob Bryson doing their dueling Michael Caine impressions.
I have it.
Oh man!
Whoa.
What a reaction from me, right? That don't make you feel better. A tangerine the size a tangerine the size of a tangerine. So yeah, he pulls out. I said the size. I'm like, some men just want to watch the world burn. It's what they want to do. They're supposed to blow their bloody toys off. That was that poem you said in Interstellar? Daisy? No, I don't know. Yeah, gosh, he's in that too. He's in Bernie Sanders' voice. Open borders. Open borders! Yeah, I can't do Bernie Sanders. It's a Koch brothers proposal. I feel like this is veering in a direction. Let's talk about so then he's in this room, right? And there's like a lot of fancy stuff, and then he looks at himself, and it's really pretty stunning sequence.
It's a fantastic sequence.
And it's just and he's old, and I don't know, you have to watch
That's what this whole stream should be. It should be 2 minutes long.
Yeah,
You should just watch it.
Do you think well, yeah, I think so. Given a long enough timeline.
But here's the thing.
be honest,
Kubrick said that the time passed accordingly to how it was in the film. So could you rub one out within, how long was he in that room? 2 minutes? 3 minutes?
He said that was like
actual time.
But I mean, it's also eternity. Right? Is it not like a Narnia thing where like a
It's
minute
both?
I feel like
it is, but he said that in terms of like Dave's experience, that's how he experienced it.
I mean, he was under those covers. You don't know what he's doing. Like he only
That's what
had
I'm
one
thinking.
hand pointing at the thing.
He's just really like when he's at his oldest and he's like almost like he's like bleeding into the bed, and then you just see the
Dust.
You just see the pillow and just like,
Is that how? Make that.
that's
That's it. Is that a slide whistle? Is that what's going on?
no, that's his old dusty dick.
Ah. See, I'm glad. Hi-yo.
And then he turned into Star Baby once he orgasmed and dust came out. I gotta go.
No! The whole Narnia thing is horrifying. He's been like a decade as an adult and fall back through a closet and turn back into a kid. Yeah, and then you've got all that knowledge. It's like Big, but, you know, you have less sex with Elizabeth Perkins.
One last crank.
One last.
That's what he was saying as he was looking
Crank.
at the right at the model. He's
he's
like,
like,
here we go, one last crank.
if I'm going to die, I know how I gotta go out. Boy. So yeah. So what do you guys think happened at the end? What happened? I mean, we already kind of talked about it. But yeah, Kubrick, right. So Kubrick, there's actually someone unearthed, and you'll find it easily. If you Kubrick, someone unearthed a video, like a video interview, supposedly, of Kubrick talking about the ending and telling exactly what happened.
Yeah. It's like the only time he did it, and I think he was like, oh, I shouldn't do that anymore.
Yeah. And I think I saw quotes from, so he must have done it like 1 or 2 times.
Yeah.
But like, yeah.
I think he learned that ambiguity was the better route to go.
There's a book that takes place before they leave the closet again. Wait, really? Really? Wait, what book is it? Prince Caspian? Anyway. Evolved in the next stage of evolution, he symbolized the beginning of the apes. Yeah, so basically, I mean, that's the horse and his boy. Oh, yeah. The Whinians. Oh, no, that's Gulliver's Travels. But yeah. Anyway, that's another book I liked. I like Jonathan Swift, Gulliver's Travels. So basically, yeah. So Kubrick has said, and you can kind of gather, right, the monolith just jumps people into, and it's like aliens going, there's a little something you can advance. They grow, they kill, they go to space. Because like that's the most. I guess that's the next significant accomplishment that we have found. But we jumped to the point where we found the next monolith.
I'm almost like, as we talk about it, do you think it's
like a scavenger hunt?
But do you think it's the plot of Interstellar, like the ending of Interstellar, where it's like, because once time starts to go freaky, it's like, oh, is this civilization advanced so far that they're just pure energy and they've come back to, I don't know.
Well, Interstellar has that other aspect to it, which you kind of mentioned, that it's like us talking to us, which I really like. And
Me too.
I think that's cool. So I think that's slightly different. But
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the. I mean, imagine one of those chimps getting their brain blasted, their eyes turning different colors, mouth agape, drilling. Yeah. I don't know, but that's where. So remember earlier, I was like, well, I'll talk about it later in the cosmic sense. I feel like it's interesting that I don't know, and I don't know if this is meant to be that, but like, you know, where there are like 5.
What a baby.
Oh, sorry, sweetheart. She's had a long day. Pure energy. There is a pure energy song that goes, pure energy. Are you trying to be funny? Or no, maybe that was just a Star Trek interstitial that I saw that probably no one else saw unless you lived in South Florida in the early 90s. It's all off the rails. But there was like it must have been a song. Must have been a song as well. Does that sound familiar to anyone else? Pure energy. Pure energy. Are you trying to be funny?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Just make some sort of sign if you're being held hostage. Interstellar evolved 5-dimensional creatures that are outside of 4 dimensions that could go back and forth. Right, and I mean, there's certainly you're right. They're certainly tied. I think.
Oh no, baby! All right, let's wrap this up.
Yeah. And I'll go. Yeah. But yeah. So, and in this case, it's aliens, and they've got. It's almost like it's like a scavenger hunt. It's like they've left little things, and like when you find this, we'll know. And they find the thing, and it goes. Brrr,
but do you think like with apes, it's because they woke up and that was there?
Yeah.
So that was like a.
Well, yeah. They're like, you're not gonna find it. We're gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've kind of chosen you to evolve. This is your destiny, essentially, right?
And then they hit it because they're like, you're a little smarter now.
Yeah.
You're on the moon.
And then we'll know that, you know, it sends it off to, or maybe I don't know. Maybe they don't even like. They're just like, when you get here, we'll know you got here.
Right.
And it goes off to Jupiter. They've gotten to the point where they can create.
How can you evolve into 5-dimensional creatures when you're a 1-dimensional character?
Nailed it.
Boom!
Oh wait, that's an Interstellar burn. I thought it was a 2001.
It's a hard Interstellar burn.
Come on, Interstellar's fantastic. If you don't think so, you're objectively wrong, everyone. But we'll talk about it later. Yeah. And they're aliens. And then the part that I didn't never occurred to me, but is great, is that like, yeah, they've created this little zoo, like, sort of terrarium for him, right? That's just like, and yeah, and they, I was watching the documentary, and it was like, oh, it's based on like hotels that he might have been to, and that they, because someone was talking, I don't remember who, but they were talking about like, maybe it was Kubrick himself, or he was like, he's like, it's interesting because like they can go into the brain and rewind through memories and put something together that they think he would like. But but I kind of liked the idea that I think someone else was talking about, because people have different ideas about it, even the people who made the film, that it was just kind of like them going like, this is what humans like.
That's how I took
which is
it.
why the floor is like lit and cool, and the rest of it is like weird French. And then like
it's a
Clarke
weird,
was like, it's mismatched. It's like, it's not
it
realistic.
is. It's completely mismatched.
Yeah, which I wouldn't know if Arthur C. Clarke didn't tell me. But
yeah. But I mean, that's kind of, I mean, even the first time I saw it, I was like, I knew it was Alien, so I assumed that it was. I assumed it was like the Abyss thing, where it was like, we've been watching you, and we see this is what modern architecture looks like, or this is what your architecture on human architecture looks like, and this is like fancy stuff, so we'll give this to you to like help accommodate you.
It's
so
funny
that's
too,
like the simplest way to look at it, is that they're just shepherding humanity
putting a little
along.
plastic palm tree.
And that humanity really can't evolve without this outside alien race helping us along. We can't get to the next level without I like that idea. It's the simplest, I feel like, explanation, but it's also the one, because once he dies, he turns into Star Baby, and then they put him back on Earth
to kind of like teach the rest of
humanity, to usher them into the next stage that'll bring them probably closer, and they'll keep doing it until they're pure energy.
The aliens go, tell him about the furniture we gave you. Tell him how cool it is.
And that's...
We got the furniture right?
We got West Elm.
Yeah. Wait, what's West Elm?
That's furniture. Oh. Fancy furniture.
Oh, I see. I wouldn't know.
You would know that.
Yeah. And well.
By the way, I ran into the Adams, one of the Andrew Adams, in like a really fancy.
That makes sense.
Furniture
I love
store.
Those guys.
So do I.
I love them so much. They're so wonderful.
They're so cool.
And they're so fun.
Yeah, they're so awesome.
So great.
They're
characters.
It was so funny because like just based off following them on Instagram and stuff.
Yeah.
It was like the fanciest like place in like the Dallas. It was over Christmas, and it was in one of the Dallas malls, like a really fancy one.
What were you doing there?
Not
like that.
I was being a fish out of water. and I was.
What's all this like, guys?
I was like with my brother and Kelsey. We were like, hey, let's go into like the really fancy furniture store and act like we know what we're doing. And we walk in, and he's just there.
Oh hi.
Yeah, he did. Because he was like, Jeff, and I was like, of course you're here.
So fantastic.
He's just wearing cool outfit, and yeah.
Sphincter boy, what's up? How you doing, my boy? Hi. How you doing? Good to see you, man. If that ever happened to me, I hope the aliens would throw Marilyn Monroe into that room along with the French cutlery or whatever else.
Yo.
No comment. Yep. I think, yeah. And then you're like having a really nice conversation with her and be like, Michelle Williams like did a pretty good job, but like this is not, this is the real thing. This is good.
I would have preferred a Lindsay Lohan performance because I know she really wanted to play her.
Did she?
Oh yeah, she really. I sounded like Kool-Aid Man.
No. Sorry.
I'm so tired.
I didn't mean to give you.
I got so tired.
Me too. I'm tired.
And now I'm sounding like Kool-Aid Man.
No, you didn't. It was just.
Yeah.
No, it was like it belied this like intense knowledge of how much you wanted to, and I was like, wow.
Let me tell you something.
Is it like a no? Like I was like, wow. Is it like a Sean Young Catwoman thing?
Yeah, kinda. Like, and to that kind of creepy extent too. Like she did a photo shoot like as her, and yeah. It's cool. She's got a reality TV show now. I heard.
It's ambition. It's true, and it's Sean Young she's putting herself out there. I felt Anyway, let's not talk about that. Let's talk about this. Excellent. Hey, Dad, I watched Wayne's World today and thought of you. Thank you, Sphincter Boy. Wow, is that why your name is Sphincter Boy? Because that's great. Because if you do not like it, you're a Sphincter Boy, as the song goes. What's up, Games New to Me? Yeah, it's been a little while. Here it is. Yeah, man. Wayne's World's fantastic. Gosh, I know that movie about as well as I know any movie. Like, you put it on, I'd be able to pretty much quote every word. And you go into fancy furniture stores.
Yeah.
So listen, here's the deal, man. Gosh, one of these days we're gonna get on here and not be tired. But here's the thing, like, that's what I was talking about when, you know, like the whole crew is wiped out, and it's just him. And I'm like, is that part of the plan? Did they somehow cause that to happen?
Well, that's why I wonder
to winnow it down to him. I mean, like for
whatever
reason.
Do you think they made Hal have a glitch?
I don't know. I mean, like.
Because it's so odd to me that video starts right after he powers him down.
And the other
it's like, wait, I mean, it's Kubrick. Like, everything is specific. He wouldn't just be like, well, I mean, why not just cut to another room, like 15 seconds later where he's powered him down, and then he's checking through the computer or whatever on his own, and he stumbles across it. Like, there's a motivation to doing it that way.
Yeah, and
it's in the brain.
Yeah. And it gives credence to the whole, like, it's an AI and they're connected kind of thing. I don't know. I don't, yeah.
That's what throws this whole thing for a loop for me, because then it means that he needed to power him down to find the truth of the mission.
Here's the, and it's what's strange. Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, but the other thing is that, like, I don't know that they necessarily needed him to know. Like, the aliens don't need him to know where he's going. They'll just grab him and do whatever they need to with him anyway. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
do you think they powered, because Hal knew about the secret mission,
but he didn't.
So was any.
Go ahead.
So do you think the other three that were in hibernation, they knew about it?
They were there for, like, I can't remember what they say. They're there for, like, not terraforming, but like they're gonna go to Jupiter and like they're the ground crew or ground team or whatever. But I don't know. No, because he goes, now that the entire crew is, maybe, because the message says something like, now that the entire crew is revived, we can tell you all the secret. I don't know if he says tell you all. Like,
so they didn't know.
I don't think so. But also I don't know, like, all their plan is, obviously, they're just like, you're going to go to Jupiter and go and see what happens. Yeah. That's basically it. And so I don't know, like, the aliens don't need anyone to, they're just like, you're going to come to Jupiter.
Yeah, right.
Because you're going to, and and it's your destiny, and we're enabling that kind of by giving you a little monolith poke here. Steampunk! Self-esteem punk. Oh, I didn't give you enough credit. That's a fantastic name. Self-esteem punk. I love it. But it, like, honestly viewed, like, it, like it's funny because the famous part of 2001, more or less, is that narrative part with, is that little chunk with Hal. And so in that case, like, if you start talking about AI movies, 2001 is like one of the first things that comes up. But
probably the first one.
But in terms of the actual arc of the story and what the story is about, that part is almost a digression. Like, it doesn't.
Oh yeah.
Like, we don't need that.
Yeah.
The story is monkeys touch the thing.
In terms of the evolutionary jumps, yeah.
Well, and
it's an example, but it's not like with the main.
Like, it's a weird. It's just a.
Well, I guess it kind of is.
It's an unnecessary subplot, at least in this surface reading of it, for it to go evil. Like, it goes, like, you know what I mean, or not to go evil, but to go. Well, I guess maybe they're like.
I think because what it's showing is that they touched it, and so we came up with the technology to get us to Jupiter.
Right. But like, but nothing. But like, you just go, cool. They've got the technology to get us to Jupiter. They've got an onboard computer, and it runs the thing, and everyone's in hypersleep, and boom, and we're in Jupiter, and this happens. Mm-hmm. Nowhere, and that's nothing. There's nothing necessary to the story about. And by the way, on the way there, the AI kind of goes wacky, kills people.
It does show that
he's that advanced
as humans are inherently fallible. To make something that is infallible, is that an impossibility?
Okay. So we're saying,
I'm just throwing it out there.
Well, and there was someone, and I did see this. There was an interesting. I forgot about this. This was interesting. So this maybe is it, or this is at least a viable idea. On the one hand, it's like we touch the monolith, we advance, but advancing means creating tools that we can hurt each other with. Mm-hmm. Hal being one of those tools.
Absolutely.
How it goes berserk and kills people, or just becomes self-interested and kills people. But it is interesting that it's like we've advanced to the point about as far as we can go. Like we've gotten so advanced that we can create a computer that is like a human essentially.
Right.
But then, and this is like lifted from even the documentary of this great video that I watched. It's really great. This thing called Screen, can't remember. It's great. But it was like, that's an interesting idea where they're saying it's like, it is, our destiny is not to get so smart we can create a computer that's like almost as good as a human. Our destiny is to hit the next step of evolution, which we can't do on our own, and we don't even understand, which is why, like, the movie goes from being very linear, we cross that threshold, and we're into something we don't understand, because it's a step we weren't ready to take, and we as an audience don't understand the movie anymore, and the character doesn't understand what's going on. And it's like, that part of the movie becomes incomprehensible, because that is the next step in our evolution. Right, shepherded by these advanced beings who are aliens that are so advanced that
they're an abstract thought, almost,
or that they would seem divine. You know what I mean?
Right,
like
right.
It is like that, and like Kubrick was like, it's a religious movie, but in the sense he's like, I don't ascribe to any of the monotheistic religions, but I like the idea of a scientific deity or like and it's like he's like these super advanced beings would seem to us like that,
right?
And that's interesting.
Do you think in terms of our evolution as a humanity, and this is not even really to deal with the movie, do you think technology, because it compounds and doubles up and becomes faster and faster and grows at an exponential rate, do you think we're going to eventually, artificial intelligence will eventually reach a point where it's that Skynet thing where it becomes aware enough to where it can start creating its own, it can help us in creating smarter artificial intelligence? And then do you think there will become a point, like, I think artificial intelligence will outlive humanity, all things considered.
Sure.
And does it become so advanced that then there is consciousness, and then
they're the next step in evolution?
And that's what
I don't know
version of human is.
I think
we're just like another version of what the ape was.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe that's the next step. I don't know. I think if we have a destiny to Eve Takashima, thank you for the follow. I think if we're
I think that's the only logical way it can go if we continue on this trend.
Well, I think that maybe it's dependent upon the choices that we make. Like, I think that for our own self-actualization as a species, so get ready. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think our destiny, our end, our evolution is to kind of develop the spirit, or like transcend the body, kind of. I don't know. Like, I think we are beings that need to learn to be more purely loving, or more purely light, or more pure whatever. I think that technology is a gigantic distraction. I think that we are busying ourselves with going, what can I create?
I don't deny that.
Like, what can I create that gets closer?
Misguided. But I think
it makes sense.
I think it's what will happen.
Oh, okay, maybe. Yeah, I think it's something that we've gone like, look what we can do, and then we are just enraptured by what we can make. Mm-hmm. Whereas, and I don't. It's great. Technology is great. Technology is very useful.
It's also very detrimental.
It can be, sure. No. I mean, but I just go like, cool, but this is all like not the real work of the soul. This is not the real work.
I feel like we're going to really look back in 20, 25 years, and we're going to see, because we're only beginning to understand the ramifications of social media and how it affects on any long-term scale. And you can already see like increases in depression and things like that, because we're more connected than ever, but we're also more isolated than ever. Uh-huh. And I think that's just going to compound further and further, and you're going to see it's going to get really interesting in like 15 years when we've had like hard studies done, like long-term studies, to see how phones, like using your phone they're like, you're not supposed to use your phone for more than an hour, like a week,
and you sleep with it next to your head.
Sleep with it next to your phone. What are you, stupid? It's going to be like, like Lucky Strikes, it's just going to be like that type of thing where it's like You guys were so dumb. It was like, we didn't know.
Yeah.
We didn't know that you're not supposed to use your phone more than like X amount of time a week or something.
Yeah.
I really feel like that's what's going to happen.
I mean, yeah, we've got all this talk about like life expectancy that it's going to keep getting higher and higher, but it's like, yeah, but like you invented phones, you idiots.
Yeah.
You're not gonna,
And like seriously, that's such a
You're gonna
modern,
mutate, yeah.
like recent change.
Still have a flip phone. Rock and roll, Toronto. You're gonna outlive us all.
That's how you gotta do it. You're gonna outlive us all, baby.
Hello, I mean Delaware. If Hal had remained, could he have been a target for the monolith?
That would have been cool to see him go through that. That would have been awesome to see him go through this.
Yeah.
He's like,
And he's like,
right.
Yo, this is crazy.
I've
Dave.
seen better.
Yeah. Crazy. If Batman is canonically about 32, then he was born in 1986. And if his parents were killed leaving a movie theater when he was 10 years old, then there was a very real possibility that they were seeing Space Jam.
Oh, what a bummer way to go out, too.
Space Jam's cool.
I mean, it is, but would you want to die after seeing that?
No, I don't want to die after seeing anything, but
You'd be bummed if you're like, I'm going out with Space Jam. Damn it.
And then you're like, everybody get up. It's time to jam now. You got the going down. 100%. Deep thoughts. Hey, I wouldn't know how pure I need to get if I couldn't access Lobo Talk about it on Twitch.tv. Well, that's what we're here for. Maybe AI will help us enhance our DNA to grow enormous, super smart brains.
Yeah. But then are we human or are we hybrids?
But our
because I feel like I feel like that's honestly the next step is becoming integrated completely with. It's going to be human.
like the Borg.
Yeah.
I don't know what the Borg are, but they're Borgs. They're cyborgs. I don't know. Sorry for interrupting.
I know. I'm trying to think because I just got into Star Trek Generation and like that's a Star Trek thing, right?
I think so. Yeah. Oh, it's definitely a Star Trek thing. I don't know anything about it.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Star Trek's great. At least the movies are great. The movies are great. No, I don't. And I mean both. I like the new ones too. I haven't seen like the last two or something, but or maybe the last.
I only saw that first one, which was cool.
I loved it.
Yeah.
But the original Star Trek movies, like Wrath of Khan, is fantastic.
See, I haven't seen Wrath of Khan. I'm excited now because I'm getting into it.
Oh, it's great.
Cool.
But
I'm only in Next Generation. Wrath of Khan's Shatner.
Yeah.
So I should go back and watch those.
You can go.
I just dig the whole universe where it's just mission set up every episode.
Well, it's so great because like Star Wars is about the wars, but Star Trek is about like the civilization. It's about,
it's just like
governance and
it's cool.
And you're just like,
we're at the next planet and we're gonna go try to maintain relations with this species, and you're like, cool.
Yeah, you're like, oh, it's the best of humanity. You're like, oh,
it is.
If we could be like,
it's a very hopeful show.
Diplomatic, democratic, loving, kind people who are just trying to keep things in order. I mean, gosh, that'd be great.
It's really I think the positive. That's why I like watching.
But this is like,
There's like,
it is very positive.
It's a very positive show.
Oh gosh, see, and what we did before we played hooky, we took a day off from work, and we drove up to Arlington, Texas, and we were with Akash's father, and he knew Star Trek, and I'd never seen any of the movies or whatever, and he was like, here's what you got to do, you got to watch the introduction of Khan, original Star Trek episode with Shatner, because he'll come back. Then you got to watch Wrath of Khan, and then you watch. So it's like 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Oh, he gave you like the setup to
and we
have
watched
the best experience.
all of them, and then we went and watched the new one. It was great.
Cool.
Wrath of Khan is great.
Yeah, I heard it's amazing.
Really great.
I heard it's like an amazing, not a Star Trek film, like an amazing film.
Yeah, and 2, 3, 4, and 5 are wonderful, and I just love.
Cool.
It's great. Yeah, I love Star Trek because of that. Theory out there that's treated seriously. We're living in a simulation. There's a theory out there that's treated seriously. We're living in a simulation. There's this theory out there that's. Is it working?
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm doing it poorly. It goes like this: computers are getting.
That's what this.
Yeah. It's a really third of it, like not a half ass, like a third of an ass.
I thought that was you being like bullshit.
Oh no, this is actually me discrediting it by pretending to like, because we're in on the.
Oh yeah. You're condescendingly.
Oh, we did, but it's true. Maybe AI will help us enhance our DNA to grow enormous, super smart brains, but our heads will be so big we'll become clumsy and get outmaneuvered by robots, so they take over while we're chained to our enormous, dragging heads.
I can believe that because I have a very physically ginormous head.
You do not.
I really do.
No, you really don't.
Do you know how big this hat is?
I know you have. Let me see.
Wait, it's
Hold on.
7.58.
Ah!
Look how big that is.
I wish.
Right.
Yeah.
You're milking it.
Yeah, I am.
But
I want to put on.
See, it barely fits my head.
I want to put on one of your suits and it's like the end of Big, second Big reference.
put on some of my drawers.
Oh, because your penis and
Got
butt are
that
so
big
large.
dick.
Oh man,
Look, it's after.
were you on Tinder?
It's coming up on 11 p.m. I guess I'm turning into
I'm
an old
sorry.
person.
I'm sorry. Gets the job done. The hammer. You call it the hammer? You do now. There's
I do that in Judge Dredd voice.
Hey, gets the job done. You know what I'm saying? Hey, no, he puts some. Never
It's
mind.
not even
I'm gonna be
Stallone.
mean. It is
It's a
Stallone.
really offensive mentally challenged person.
Stop it! You can't say that. Okay, hold on. There's a theory out there that you're seriously living. Okay. Computers are getting faster and more powerful. Eventually, you'll be able to run simulations of life on computers that are so advanced that the inhabitants of the simulation were essentially sentient. Because billions of people will be capable of running billions of simulations on their advanced computers, it's statistically more likely that we're part of one of those simulations. But then, would you be able to come up with that within the... Sure, maybe. Yeah. Only reason I use Live is because it's $15 a month, gets signal literally everywhere, and I'm usually busy when I'm out, so never use it when I'm out. No, not the
That's
board.
great. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, I just got back. I feel like I missed someone birth a child on stream. Man, I'm so behind. I don't know what's happening. Very good. The Borg are basically a cyborg hive mind, like a colony of ants born of an AI that uses human bodies as vessels. We should watch that Star Trek for part 5 of this series. In Neuromancer, William Gibson book, yes, they have little Microsofts that they would insert behind the ear to gain knowledge of abilities. Maybe Jeff has a normal head, but Lober has a tiny head.
That's right.
Blum blum blum. That's the Romeo and Juliet theme. Ducky Poo, what's going on here?
Just talking about big heads,
yeah, man.
You know,
Boom,
just chilling.
boom. Gotta go play some Scooby-Doo with Shotty. Rock and roll! Night Soy. That was it was a minute ago. I was like, that was probably 15 minutes ago.
It's a great movie.
It's a really good movie.
I think, and it's also one of those movies, I hate saying it's an important movie.
It is.
But it's one of those movies that, if you have even a remote interest in cinema as a whole, it's one of the integral, you gotta watch it.
It is
just to know what cinema is both capable of.
Yeah.
The historical aspect of what was achieved 50 years ago. We wouldn't have anything without this movie in terms of what we've accomplished with CG and stuff like that. This was such an inspiration for so many filmmakers that did so many things on their own.
Yeah. It is true. It is true cinema as art.
It is.
And it's worth noting that before it is the seminal film for serious sci-fi, because before this, sci-fi was largely B-movie stuff.
Oh yeah.
And reportedly Kubrick didn't really care for sci-fi too much, but he was like, I'm gonna go make intellectual adult sci-fi. It's a movie that now makes me think of Lobo from listening to a sub notification 1,000 times. Well, I am sorry, but I'm proud.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I really do. I mean, on the strength of this film, I really do think. Kubrick in 2001 are the monolith. As I was gonna say right before someone
He took it away from me. He stole it,
right
and
before
he gets
Embalox
credit
said
for it, and you don't get any credit for it. You don't get any credit for it.
How much longer will I stream? I'm sorry. It's 11 right now. I probably will pass out. Now we're gonna end this, and then maybe I'll play a little bit of something. Play some Subnautica, and then pass out. Something. It is fantastic. It's not even there aren't words for it. It is. It's important. It is. There is a pre. I mean, that's why it's monolithic in the 2001 sense. It is pre. There's pre 2001 and there is post 2001, and not just in sci-fi, in filmmaking.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the kind of thing where. It's like he makes stop motion film. That's how much he puts into his film.
He broke such massive technological ground, and then he completely shattered what was expected of like narrative thinking, cinematic narrative thinking. Like he just broke linear structures, and he was just like, no, you don't have to do it any one way. Like, especially, it's 1968. Like, the new Hollywood movement hasn't even happened yet. Like, this is an atom bomb of a movie.
I know, and it's funny because we were talking about, early on we were talking about, like, it was all cowboy movies and big budget musicals and movies were junk, and they weren't. But, like, because
there wasn't anything like this.
Yeah, there were definitely other things, but this is just like, I mean, like, again, you throw this on for a 2019 crowd who's never seen it before, it'll blow their freaking mind.
Especially, like, because I just saw it in 70, and it's shocking on a massive screen how well it holds up.
Incredible.
Like, I mean,
incredible. The
detail that you see and, like, how intricate it all looks and feels, and it's just great.
And it's it's like a myth and a parable and an experience and like an impressionist painting, and it's
you know what it was?
It's an experience.
It was like Kubrick was like sci-fi films are garbage, and then he just unfurled his massive dong and showed us all how it's done.
He's like, look at my dong!
He went, and
check
that's what
out
he did.
that dong! It's an American bald eagle. I thought they were extinct. They are now. What is that?
I don't even understand the context of that, but I like it.
I like it too. What is it? Not that I like killing bald eagles. Government. I don't like killing bald eagles.
Swarm. Next week.
Yeah. The exact literal opposite of this film, but not really. So next week,
I am very excited.
Me too.
This is a great one. I love talking about it. It's a very elegant film, though. I'm ready to do something that's going to be... It's going to be like bananas, it looks like.
I would love to do Batteries Not Included. This is so in thinking of movies for this series, we kind of talked about a number of movies. But I liked the idea of going we're hitting kind of this idea of the paranoia of AI, right? And like AI is exciting, but also it may become self-interested and decide that like you are not efficient or helpful to survival and kill you. Or it may run your city and may run it logically and whatever. This is a much more. This is like, so these are like philosophical kind of paranoias about sci-fi and kind of on a large scale, sort of this is what sci-fi. The next one is very interesting to me because it's a very personal paranoia tale of AI, like what AI could do to you.
I love that you're setting it up like it's like an art film.
Personally. Oh, no, I don't mean to do that.
It's a very personal.
I also... The Matrix. Oh, we'll be watching The Matrix later. So the AI... Matrix was an interesting one where we couldn't quite... Because the AI...
We debated it.
And we're going to do it, because there will be a second part of, like, AI computers. But it kind of... Matrix is weird because, like, technically the whole thing is a simulation, so, like, it fits within the idea of computers. But then, like, the point of interface with it are these, like, AI programs, which is still a computer, but they are very much like robots. So it's kind of like, I don't know which one. But we'll be doing it later. Not Buckaroo Banzai. The only thing I don't like about this movie is extended amount of time for the time travel through space. I understand that, Robo. Buckaroo, Peter Weller. I want to do Buckaroo Banzai. We're not going to be watching The Matrix. We're going to be watching a Julie Christie film. She didn't direct it. We're going to be watching a film called Demon Seed. Demon Seed. And I honestly have to give you a bit of possibly a trigger warning. There is like a scene of sexual assault, essentially, but not in the sense that you might expect. But it is from what I have heard, is that the movie starring Dame Judi Dench? No.
Is it Julie Christie?
It's Julie Christie.
Wait, Julie Christie is. Oh man.
She's Shampoo and.
No, you're right. Who is Julie Andrews? Sorry.
Julie.
I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, and where can I see that?
Yeah. So Demon Seed. Demon Seed sounds like a movie like The Exorcist or something. You know what I'm talking about, thanks to the warning. It's weird because I want to give that warning, but it also spoils. Never mind. I'm saying too, but it's like, I guess I'll just say there's a scene of sexual assault. That I haven't seen the movie.
Neither have I. So I can't really.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
But that being said, it's supposed to be schlocky and kind of ridiculous, but also.
But it's like not a sexual assault scene in the sense of like it's. Got it. It's different.
Yes.
Like flips it's on its head a little bit.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it could still possibly be traumatic.
Oh no.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's not in the traditional sense.
No.
I feel like written by Dean Koontz according to IMDb. Yeah, it's gonna be schlocky. Yeah. So this is an infamous film, and I really like the idea.
I'm so excited
of doing because occasionally you get these infamous films that are like, oh yeah, that movie. We'll see. I'm very excited.
I might go home and watch it tonight.
I'm really excited to watch it because I've known about it for years and heard about it for years and
Where
years.
Did you hear? Where? Because I never had heard about it.
It was. I don't know. It might have been like on like infamous movies, but it's also they do a parody of it on The Simpsons. There's a Treehouse of Horror. The setup is that an inventor, who's working with AI to come up with I think cure for cancer or some disease, outfits his house with an AI that controls the house. And they parody it on The Simpsons, where on a Treehouse of Horror, where Marge is left alone in a house where like Pierce Brosnan voices the remote controlled house, the Nest or whatever, Google Nest. I don't really know what Google Nest does, but yeah, you guys be wearing tuxedos for the Demon Seed discussion. I hope so. We're going straight from 2001, which is about the most high-minded sci-fi AI thing you can get, to Demon Seed, which I don't know. I can't pass judgment on it yet. And then, honestly, I'm really like I'm excited. Alphaville was like the wild card, but Demon Seed is also very much a wild card. 2001 was like, all right, that's gonna be great. Demon Seed is gonna be interesting, and then we're gonna end with Her, which I truly like. I adore that film, and that film just breaks my heart in the most beautiful way. I love it so much.
I'm excited to revisit that one. I haven't seen it since.
Yeah. And I think we all saw it together.
Did we?
I think so. I think it was you and me, Akasha. I think Moody.
Yeah.
I think.
Really?
Maybe Moody. Maybe not. But I'm pretty sure. I think Moody. Yeah. Anyway, it's fantastic. Okay. It's fantastic. The movie with the guy who falls in love with the phone. Kind of. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like an OS. I love her. Her is amazing. So we are going. Where Joaquin Phoenix has sex with Siri. That's going to be a fun lead up because people are going to be making jokes. Yeah. No, that was okay. I love it. Okay. Guys, thank you so freaking much. I think what we'll do is I'm going to pause temporarily.
You can kick me out.
Kick you out. You know what, guys? Hold on. It's 11:05. Let me cut, and then I'll come live again, possibly. I don't know, because it's almost midnight. We went over by a significant margin, but
when we get started, 30 minutes late too.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay. Pause and reflect.
Later, dude. See you next week. Later, King Coldblood.
Yeah, I'll probably pop back on live to say, hey, what's up? Maybe. I don't know. I'm kind of tired. I'll pop back on one way or another to either say goodbye or to do some stuff for like half an hour or something. But thank you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching the movie. Thank you for discussing with us. This is what I think there are a lot of, there are a lot of like shows about like where people just get to like they just talk about movies. But what I really like about it is getting to talk about it live with you guys, and I think that's fantastic. I love it. I love it. Are you taking Ghost Dad with you?
No, I was going to say make sure to check out Ghost Dad.
In theaters now?
The novelization.
Oh, yeah, right. At half-price books
I bet you can find it at your local library.
I don't even know if you could.
I guarantee you can. You absolutely can. Go check it out.
I wonder if you can. Also, your local library, maybe Demon Seed. Go check it out. There is a copy of Demon Seed at the
Shut up! Is there really?
Austin Public Library.
I was worried. I don't even, like, have we looked to see, can you stream
it's online.
it?
You can get it online.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I will put online. I will put on Twitter where you can find it, guys. Please, if you have not, please consider joining the Discord. Wait, what the heck?
Bye, everybody.
Oh my gosh, has Lowerbot not been activated this entire time? It doesn't matter because it doesn't work. But
Thank God.
yeah, Lowerbot. Yeah, we have an AI here as well. That has kind of gone haywire. Join the Discord if you like. We update there about, well, we update there. We have a filmography channel that I'd love your input on and just your thoughts. Also, the Twitter is really where I kind of update when we're going live and what's going on. I'll put there where to find Demon Seed. I'll put it in the Discord as well. Thank you so much. I will try to pop on at least to say goodnight. Kara Suraman, thank you for the follow. And thank you so much for being here. This is freaking amazing. It really, truly blows my mind that I get to do it. And I thank you for being here and for being part of it. Lots of love. I will see you in a little bit. I don't know for how long, but I'll come back on and say at least goodnight. All right. Maybe we'll play a little something.